Hello, beautiful people of YouTube. It is September 20th. This is the Audible Sports Podcast, and I am joined by Daniel and Steven. This is a sad week for me because my Colts are ass. So I don't know what to say about that stuff.
Just open with that one, huh?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'll talk about it a little bit more later because I'm a little more than upset. Yeah, but we'll get into that later. Your team did pretty good, guys. You fucking Cowboys won.
Yeah, baby. We're back. I regret everything I said about week one. Trade Dak, get him the fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever. A fucking week ago, you guys were like had your team for dead. Like you guys thought they were dead, and dude, like you're like, oh, I don't have any. And then like they win one game, and you're like, oh, you know what? We're fucking back.
I said we'd be back week 5, which I still believe. The last time we lost Dak, though, the fucking franchise crumbled more than it already does every year. So.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that the Bengals offensive line is still ace. They suck.
Yeah.
How many times did you guys sack Joe Burrow? 4?
6.
Oh, he got sacked 7 times last week. So,
yeah.
Rip Joe Burrow this season. If you have Joe Burrow in fantasy, I'd look for a trade.
I don't know how many he had. Just kidding. I'm not even gonna. I don't remember.
I know he had one at least because I saw him hit him. So there was that. But
Micah got him twice.
Let's hit up the chat real quick. We're live. What?
Ethan, Jerry, and Josh. Josh, I will answer your questions. I didn't have time to do things. I will tell you what I had planned. So, Ethan, Broncos country, giddy up. Broncos country, just keep swimming. Broncos country, let's move in a forward direction. Broncos country, look at the play clock. Broncos country, squeaked by the Texans. We couldn't even do that, Ethan. We tied the Texans. Broncos country, just run the ball in the red zone. Jerry, what's up, guys? What's up, Jerry? Thanks for jumping in, man. If you have any questions or anything, you want to make a comment, anything, put it on in there. Jerry, Josh Benninger in the chat. He is a huge Cowboys fan. You can shit on him if you want to. So there you go. Josh, sir, this week. Where the fuck is your Jags jersey? So they don't sell Jags jerseys anywhere here. Can't find one.
They don't sell Jags jerseys anywhere.
Anywhere.
Amazon. It's like a 2 week. 2 week play.
Gotta wait 2 weeks and it still won't arrive. I was gonna make a paper bag that had Colts horseshoes with teardrops coming from them. And then a sad horseshoe, like an upside down horseshoe. And then on the back, I was going to flip it around and have a Jags logo and be like, I'm the Colts daddy or something like that. But I didn't have time to make that. So, because unfortunately, I have another job besides this. So,
It's okay.
It's okay. Well,
you lost
you
the
guys
game.
play again next.
You guys got crumbled. That I think that's punishment enough.
We're not winning the next game either.
And it wasn't even like a close game. You guys got fucking railed.
We got fucking reamed.
Goose egg.
It was 27, wasn't it?
It was 24. Don't give them that much credit, okay? Like the Jags did make their field goals though, so can't say that the Colts did that last week either. Ethan says Cooper Rush MVP. Dude, Cooper Rush looked really good in that game. I don't know how many yards he threw for, but oh my gosh.
About 230.
Sleep on rush hour again, Casey. Josh, I hate you.
Sleep on hashtag rush hour.
I can't emphasize that enough. I hate you. And I'm not looking forward to when the Colts lose to the Cowboys in December either. So there's that.
Yeah.
Or you're not looking forward to that now?
I'm not looking forward to that because we're gonna lose.
Team doesn't exist apparently.
We're ass. We don't have an offense. So I don't know what happened. Last year we were one quarterback away from a Super Bowl appearance apparently, and now we suck. So
the quarterback you got rid of is playing way better than the one you got. So.
Well, I don't know about the last game he just played, but we'll talk about them later too. Well, let's move into college football week 3. College football this week, not a lot really went on in terms of upsets or anything like that.
There were a couple.
Too much.
Well, there was a couple.
A few.
You had Michigan State losing to Washington. Thank you, Huskies, for taking out Michigan State. Go blue.
Forever.
Oregon took out BYU. Oregon ranked 25, took out number 12 BYU in Eugene.
Yep.
Oregon destroyed them. There is something happening in the background here that we're gonna shut down here.
You good over there?
No idea. Oh, no, it's ESPN. It's ESPN with an ad. Stop it.
Oh.
Shush. Okay. It plays an ad automatically. All right, we're done.
Tab on the top.
It's done.
Right click and mute it.
It's done. Shut up.
All of the ads.
You can just mute the tab.
Yeah,
that's why.
We're done. Okay.
Tricks for everyone.
Anyway, Georgia destroyed South Carolina, number 1 ranked. Number 2, Alabama.
Yep.
63-7 over Louisiana Monroe. Ohio State 77-21. Ohio State, you let them score on you. Disappointed. Disappointed.
77 points, though.
That's pretty good.
Ohio State,
that's
but
pretty
God
good.
bless. That's a lot of points.
Yeah. Michigan 59-0 over UConn. Go blue. Number 5, Clemson 48-20 over Louisiana Tech. Oklahoma. So this Oklahoma-Nebraska game was like hyped up all preseason. Nebraska is basically UTEP.
Nebraska probably got fucked, huh?
I saw an Oklahoma fan on Twitter yesterday. He was saying that Oklahoma looks like a Power 5. Like we're going to the playoff, blah blah blah. And then he had Michigan out at the bottom. He's like played cupcakes. Oklahoma played UTEP, Kent State, and Nebraska. Michigan played UConn, Hawaii, and Colorado State. I think that's a little tougher schedule than Oklahoma. They're all still cupcakes, all of them. Nebraska's a cupcake this year for sure too. But
and
Oklahoma
UTEP actually scored on Oklahoma.
Yeah, UTEP actually scored on them. Oklahoma blew out Nebraska 49-14. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even a game. That was in Nebraska. So Nebraska just fired their coach last week. Team to be on the lookout for this year: USC took out Fresno State. Fresno State's a pretty good football team, but USC is
USC's
probably
come up quick.
Yeah, they might go into the playoff this year. Lincoln Riley took all of his players there, and they won 45-17. Oklahoma State played Arkansas Pine Bluff 63-7. Kentucky took out Youngstown State 31-0. Number 10
Kentucky's
Arkansas.
a dark horse.
Yeah, Kentucky. Well, I don't think I would call them a dark horse. They're ranked 9 right now, but when they get into SEC play, I think they're going to kind of struggle. But they are 3-0. They did start 3-0. Arkansas 38-27 over Missouri State. Arkansas almost lost that game. They were down 27-14, I believe, in the third quarter of that game. They had to come back in the fourth. Michigan State losing to Washington 39-28. Thank you, Washington Huskies. Don't like Michigan State.
I'll say it again. Fuck Michigan State.
Yep. And Texas A&M bounced back against Miami at home after losing embarrassingly to Appalachian State last week. By the way, did you guys watch the Appalachian State game? The end of that game?
I watched the end of it.
Holy
I saw
crap.
the pregame and then the end. I saw Pat McAfee singing with Luke Combs. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's always crazy to see when the game is on College Game Day and then you have to go to ESPN Plus to watch the game.
Long neck, ice cold beer, never broke my... That's what they're singing in the background. Yep. But yeah, you're right though, Stephen. That's pretty funny. Shout out to Luke Combs. Did a great job. And then he flew to Wisconsin that night to do a concert. So shout out to him.
It's crazy.
App State though, we're dead to rights. Through a Hail Mary, it bounces off a bunch of players and their player catches it, runs in the end zone with no time left to win the game. Insane.
App State is that team.
Not only
App State is that upset team in college football.
Well, that wasn't really an upset. They should have destroyed Troy, who they played. But College Game Day was there. They stole College Game Day from Texas A&M. It was going to be Texas A&M, Miami College Game Day. App State beat them, and College Game Day was like, "Nah, we're not going to Kyle Field. We're going to Boone, North Carolina." Boone, North Carolina. Oh my gosh, that's pretty awesome. But other than that, there weren't very many upsets this week. Texas struggled with UTSA in the first half, and then they pulled away.
As they should.
I mean, they have a backup quarterback right now, so.
Here was kind of a stat or a score that kind of surprised me. Penn State blew out Auburn in Auburn. Penn State won 41-12. That wasn't even a game. Halftime, I think it was 14-6, and then Penn State just ran away with it in the second half. Wasn't even close. But that's kind of like a little college football recap. You guys got any other games in the chat? You guys got any games right there?
Not really. I mean, like you said, it was kind of a quiet week.
All right.
Yeah, it's the first quiet week we've had.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
And I've been working Saturdays now, so college football is not too much on my palate, but I try to keep up as much as I can. Go blue.
Before we go to the next
conference will
start
winding in, so we'll see.
Before we go to the next topic, let's go back to the chat. Got a lot of people talking today.
Hell yeah.
At least we kicked a field goal last week. Yeah. You didn't score a touchdown week 1, so there's that.
Is that Josh? Yep.
Yeah. Cooper Rush was trash. That's Jerry. By the way, Jerry is a huge Eagles fan. So
fuck the Eagles,
just
Jerry.
So you know, Daniel and Jerry, they're gonna go at it. So it's gonna be pretty fun.
I fucking hate Jerry now. I don't hate you, but fuck the Eagles.
Ethan, just give it time. Matt Ryan will adjust eventually. It's not really Matt Ryan. It's kind of like our offensive line.
You better fucking hope so, Casey.
I'm gonna go off later, so we'll see there.
Josh,
Ethan, USC. Josh Bittinger, Ohio undefeated, baby. Josh, go fuck yourself.
Is he an Ohio State fan?
No, he's just a troll.
Oh, he's just a shit.
Yeah, he just anything that happens to Michigan, he's like, yeah, let's go. By the way, Josh's team is UTEP and Navy, so there's that.
That's fine.
Nebraska's basically UTEP.
Navy,
that's so insulting. Yeah, it really is. Ethan, my boys, fight on. Ethan, if USC can go undefeated and win the Pac-12, ship them playoff will be our future. I think USC is going to the college football playoff this year, Ethan. I think they're that good. They should make it. When they get there, they're either going to see Alabama or Georgia.
Who do they knock out, though? Because you got Alabama, Georgia, hopefully Michigan. And then the fourth spot.
USC.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alabama might not even
It's
get
good-
it.
it's
They did
good.
not play very well last week. They played better
Alabama
this week.
could have 2 losses and still make the playoff.
Yeah, they won't.
Because
Yeah,
they're Alabama.
it's Alabama.
Yeah, they won't.
It's going to be Alabama, Georgia, the winner of Ohio State, Michigan, and then whoever the next best team is.
Jerry says,
It's
roll
probably
Bama.
USC.
Josh said UTEP lost. Yeah, UTEP got blown out by New Mexico. I don't know if it was a blowout, but they lost bad. Isaac,
It was,
Eli planning on being
24
Chad
to
Powers
10.
at Penn State.
Dude, did you see that? That was hilarious.
Chat. Oh, I watched
So,
that whole thing yesterday.
didn't
It
see
was
it.
great.
I'm out of the loop
Eli
there. You
Manning's
guys gotta fill
doing
me
a
in.
thing on
It's like a
ESPN Plus.
15-minute video.
It's I forgot what it's called. It's like Eli's something.
Eli's Places? Because Peyton had Peyton's
Yes.
Places.
Yes. Because he went into Penn State
Penn
as
State.
a college recruit for quarterback. Like he was trying out. He had like a wig on
He was
and
a
like
walk
makeup on his face, so he looked really like old, but to where he didn't look like Eli Manning.
Oh, that's cool.
Fucking did all the workouts with them.
That's funny. And were they just staring at him like, huh?
Yeah, they were all like, "What the fuck is this guy?"
That's pretty
so
funny.
He's all
James-
showing him up and everything.
James Franklin knew it was Eli because Eli.
Well, yeah,
came
they
up
had to
him
invite
and
him
told
there, so
about it.
he had to have known something.
But nobody else knew anything.
It was
And
funny.
so they would he was just dropping all these dimes, and everybody like started coming to watch
They're just like-
Chad Powers.
I need to check that out.
Chad Powers.
Chad
He
Powers.
ran like a 5.5 40.
Hey, he's retired and still running 5.54. I don't even
Yeah,
think I can run a
it wasn't
5.54. I
bad.
can't even run right now because of my
Yeah.
ankle.
He
But-
was like, that's the first 40 I've run since college.
That's funny. Jerry, LOL, and he spells out Eagles for you, Daniel. What have you have to say?
saw.
to that?
Fuck 'em.
Josh, Jerry, why are you here?
I'll
Hold
say it
up.
over and over again.
None of us, literally no one identifies with UTEP. And then Isaac. Matt Pryor probably massages Deshaun Watson's back. Jesus
Mass-
Christ.
Did you see
Massages.
some of the pictures from the Cleveland tailgate?
No.
There was people that they had a table and they had like a mannequin on it with like a
I saw
something
that.
of rise, like a happy endings aren't illegal and stuff. It was the meme was like Browns fans deserve to lose
Yeah.
because
And Ethan says, but eventually lose to Bama or Ohio. Not Ohio, Michigan. Michigan's going to the playoff this year again.
It will come down to that game again.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to the end, and then somebody's gonna be sad. I'm already sad,
Yeah.
so I don't even care. But all right,
Well, actually, it'll be that game and then the Big Ten championship. But
let's move on to our fantasy recaps. Let me go to the fantasy board here. We're gonna go over our fantasy league, guys. So if you guys want to jump in on how our teams did, excuse me. Let's go to the fantasy lines. Woo! All
not
right.
a great first 2 weeks for me.
Yeah. All right. So
Not
I'm the
fun
Hunger
game here.
Games. I played McCaffrey, antivirus. That is Isaac. I talked a lot of shit last night because I thought that freaking Minnesota Vikings were gonna do something, and Kirk Cousins throws like 4 interceptions and 2 to Darius Slay. Upset about that. So I should have won that game. He wins. He holds on. He's 2-0. So congrats, Isaac. Fuck you. Let's
He's a
go
little shithead,
over
huh?
Daniel's game here. Daniel lost to Sharif. Sharif swag team. You guys, well, Daniel falls to 0-2. By the way, you guys want to take note on what Daniel's team name is up there on the left?
Look at that profile picture too. It's gold.
Oh my gosh.
Team picture. Go into that one. I want to talk about
can't
my
click on
team
it.
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're in it.
Go ahead. Talk about it.
So half my team didn't fucking show up. Probably
Shit,
more.
your team didn't show up.
DJ Chark I subbed in because dumbass Michael Pittman from the Colts got hurt. Then game time decision, Gabe Davis is not playing for the Bills. That would have been great because he would have fucking done insane because the Bills scored 41 points. Derrick Henry kind of showed up ish. Not really, but it was a bad week, man.
Yeah, your players
The
were
only
ass
person
except
that
Mark
showed
Andrews.
up on my team was Justin Herbert and Mark Andrews.
Yep.
Well,
Both-
and the
both
Philly
those guys.
defense, but
Yeah, the Philly defense went off. I think they got 12.
yeah.
But yeah, Sharif still bettered you there. Let's
And then
move
fucking
on.
Jalen Hurts had 30 points at half.
Tony, our other colleague that is usually with us, is not here today, but we have his game picks, guys, so we'll know his game picks. Tony actually goes 2-0. He is tied for 4th. He beat CD's Nuts, which is Edward. Edward's usually in the chat, but he's not here. Yeah, he won his league. Then we go down to 7 Mile Spank Machine, who is John, our big Texans fan friend. He won by 5 points over the better Eder. Steven is Joe Buck yourself, and Steven's team. Steven, what happened to your team this week?
They didn't show up at all.
Yeah, you
Tom
had
Brady didn't show up. Well, I mean, he was playing.
Tom Brady had the most
Nobody.
points with 11.
Yeah,
That game was so
it was
bored.
sad.
Only double-digit person. By the way, my brother's name is Steeler Virginity. That is Shane. He auto-drafted his team. He is 2-0. And apparently when he auto-drafts his team, he wins the league. So, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus. 31 points with fucking Tyreek Hill.
31 points there. 20 points with Buffalo.
Half his team didn't score, and he put up 126 points.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. Tyreek Hill went off.
I'm
in
just
all
gonna
of it.
start
for you.
auto drafting every year, bro.
Yeah, apparently it's better.
That's fucking nuts.
Last game here, we have stud team, who is Andrew. Oh, by the way, that's Andrew and Doug. That is father and son. Son defeats father. 131-78. He's the Minnesota Monkeys. I'm sure that was a great talk this week in the house, and I'm going to Indy this week, so I get to see them talk shit to each other. So that will be great. All right.
Was he the highest scorer, Andrew?
The highest scorer this week, I believe, was Shane. No, actually, it was Andrew. Andrew
Yeah,
was the highest scorer this week, 131 points. Let's go to our standings here. Shane, his auto drafted team currently in first place. McCaffrey antivirus in second. That's Isaac. Third is Andrew. By the way, Andrew and Isaac, first year in the league for them, for both of them. So actually, no, Isaac was in it last year, correct? Yeah, Isaac was in it last year. So it's
remember.
Andrew's first time in the league. Tony's 2-0. Sharif 5th. John 6th. Me 7th. I mean, they don't really matter right now. In a little bit, they'll start to really matter. But
I
those
just
are the
want to take
standings right now.
note real quick of the points against me right now. The teams that I have played have already allowed it's fucking 267 points.
Yeah, you've definitely
through
given up
2
the
weeks.
most
Are you
points.
kidding me?
You've given up the most points for sure. You've given up 100 more points than my team has. Your defense
And I
sucks.
put
That's
up
not
more
even his-
points than half the league.
That's
Literally.
unfortunate. That's wild.
I
So
fucking
that
hate it
means
here.
my team will go off next week.
All right.
Probably.
Switch back on over.
Lord.
Well, after the fantasy recap, that'll get juicy later on in the season. But right now we're gonna move on to, if I can figure this crap out
NFL.
here.
Get it together, guy.
There we go. Oh no, that was correct. NFL recap. Yay, we did it, guys. Woo. All right. Actually, I'm gonna add. We're missing something here.
Oh, the ticker?
Yep. Give me 1 sec. I think I can just add it in, right?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Weekly scores. Add source.
There you go. Perfect.
Can you guys see the scores up top? Let me know what you guys think of our comments with those.
Well, we can see them. I don't know
Yeah.
if they can.
I don't know. Can you guys see it on there?
Oh yeah, it'll be there.
Oh, Jerry
It's on
got
a little bit of a delay, so
kicked
there
out.
they are. Yeah, it's there.
You can see it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let me know what you guys think about that. Jerry got kicked out. He's back.
Jay,
He's back.
you got to get off that Walmart Wi-Fi.
Get off the Walmart Wi-Fi or refresh the page. All right. Well, we are done with fantasy football for this week. Next week is another week. Let us go on to week 3 recap. What
Week 2.
game to you guys was probably the most shocking?
The Jaguars over the Colts.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the
You wanna
most
go for it,
shocking.
Casey?
Was it that
result for me.
shocking though? What was the stat? You guys haven't won in Jacksonville since like fucking 2014.
2014 in Jacksonville. Yeah, that's a
But
that's
have
a
you ever
real
been
stat there.
shut outs by Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think in 2018.
Probably in that streak.
I think in 2018 they shut us out. I think the same year we shut you guys out.
That's so
We got
weird.
shut out by the Jaguars. Yeah, it's wild. But
I don't know. Go ahead, go off, Casey. I'm here
I
for
wish
this.
I knew what was going on with this the Colts this year. Like I just do. Last season they said they were a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl contender, and through 2 games we have tied the Texans and we got blitzed by the Jaguars. What are we doing?
Two
What
two
what are
worst
we
teams in the
doing?
division.
I feel like this team should be destroying teams like the Texans and the Jaguars. A lot of this falls on the coaching staff, as they didn't do anything to address wide receiver in the offseason. Our left tackles are atrocious. Matt Ryan has no time to throw the ball, and we can't do anything offensively. Jonathan Taylor only had 10 touches, and that includes his running and catching in this past game. That's ridiculous. Naheem Hines was used a little bit in the first quarter, and then he dropped off. Frank Reich said, if you want to draft Naheem Hines this year if you want to win your fantasy league. Well, I drafted him, and he hasn't done shit. The whole offseason was about accountability for what happened in Jacksonville last season at the end of the year. After the first game of the year, Hot Rod, Rodrigo Blankenship, cost us the game because he missed an overtime field goal against Houston. He did that last year in Baltimore.
No, Baltimore. Sorry.
Yeah. We lost the game in Baltimore, and we should have won. And we tied the Texans, and we should have won. Rodrigo was held accountable by being cut the following game last week. So we no longer have Rodrigo Blankenship on our team. I don't even know who the fuck's kicking for us because nobody kicked this week because we couldn't fucking score. So nobody stepped up this year. Jim Irsay in the offseason said we are all chips in. This is all chips in. Like,
you know what's funny about that too, about the kicker? You guys only kicked the ball fucking one time.
Yeah.
Because you didn't score.
Well, you guys didn't score against us last time we played, but that was in 2018. And you guys will definitely score this year, so fuck you. The game I witnessed on Sunday was worse than the end of the year game last year against Jacksonville. All the new guys we brought in haven't done anything. Through 2 games, the Colts have played 1 good quarter, and that was the 4th quarter against the Texans where we were down 20-3, and we came back to tie them. But we had no business being down 20-3 because it's the fucking Texans. They showed a glimpse of what they could be, but since they've pretty much disappeared. I don't really know how to feel about this team right now because there are 15 games left. It's a long season. Lots of football still to be played. But through the first 2 games, I'm not impressed. And we have Kansas City coming into town this week. The Colts always lose to teams that they are supposed to beat, and they beat teams that they're supposed to lose to. I'm not picking the Colts this week because I think we're going to get destroyed by Kansas City. But I at least want to see a fight from the team this week. If I'm sitting in the stadium and our offense does nothing again, I think the season's chalked. Like, we should score against Kansas City. Yeah, right.
Cowboy fan.
The ironic thing is that the Titans lost yesterday, and the Jaguars are the only team in our division that has a win 2 games in. Every team is 2 games in. The Colts and Texans have a loss and a tie, and we were both 1 game behind. We're both half a game behind first place in the AFC South. That's how bad the AFC South is going to be this year. The AFC South winner might have 6 wins and host a playoff game.
How fucking God, that would be awful.
Saying all that, the Colts can still win this division, but I'm not holding my breath. We need to see some serious changes this week against Kansas City, and I just want them to compete. I want to see a competitive game. So, just so everyone's clear, I love my Colts, but I am extremely frustrated. I'm a very extremely frustrated Colts fan 2 games in, so that's my rant. There you go.
Thank you for that.
You guys want to say hi to Vashti?
Good,
Vashti, come say hi to the stream. Look, come say hello.
Montage video to put together.
She's brought me some stir fry because she's a nice kid. Wait, come say
Stir-fry.
hi. Come get on the camera. Say hello. She said, "No, fuck you."
True. Sounds about right.
Good job, Ashley.
So thank you. I got food. That's kind of cool. I didn't expect that. I'm gonna put this over here.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, that's my rant on the Colts.
I don't know what the problem is either. Well, no, I do know what the problems are. Your problems are your offensive line and your fucking play calling. Your defense, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Play
there.
calling is atrocious. Frank Reich, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? I know you'll never see this, but come on, man.
Casey wants to be an iteration of, come on, man. I'm going to send that into ESPN.
Come on, man.
Your defense still allowed 24 points to Jacksonville, though. What the fuck?
Yeah, we fucking suck, dude. I don't know. We
Like,
got all these
this year,
players in the
working.
offseason. They didn't address wide receiver, which they should have. That should have been the number one. I mean, like, Michael Pittman was out, and we had nobody to throw the ball to, apparently, because nobody could get open. And Matt Ryan just like, fuck it, I'm going down. So, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
there you go. Josh Bettinger, 3 times. Since 2003, a span of 361 regular season games, the Colts have only been shut out 3 times. All 3 have come against the Jaguars. Yeah, that is correct, but the Jaguars also
That's
have more
crazy.
playoff wins than the Cowboys do since their existence, so...
Nobody's talking about the Cowboys.
Hey, no,
right now.
fuck
That's
you. Josh likes to attack my Colts, so I'm going to attack his Cowboys.
But we're
When he
not
comes
talking
at
about the
me,
Cowboys right
I go
now.
at him.
We know
Oh, no,
we
no, no,
suck.
no, 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 no,
We
no.
know we can't win in the playoffs.
Convert, Casey.
We
I'll
know.
buy your first jersey for you. AFC South is the new NFC East. Dibs on best man. Oh, because
Vashti
was
brought
here. Let the record show I've had dibs for like 7 years. Yeah, that's true. He's always said he keeps going dibs on best man. So.
And
Just
you
so
won't be
everybody
invited.
knows, we're not engaged. So
You won't be invited.
all right. Well, what game shocked you guys besides that one? I mean, do you guys want to talk about
Well,
any
you
other
talked
games,
about
or you
the
just want to
fucking
talk about
Colts
that
for
one?
like 20
I had
minutes.
to. I'm sorry. I had to vent. I had to let it
That's
all
fine.
out. I am very
So-
upset.
The Jets
ahead,
coming
Steven.
back. The Jets coming back with a minute 44, down 13. That was pretty shocking.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that pissed me
god!
off. I picked Cleveland in that game.
Yeah. Guess Casey shoves food in his
This
mouth.
food's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, 13 points with a minute 40 with no timeouts. Comes back and wins the game
Yeah, that's
against the Browns.
fucking insane. I got a stat for the Browns. Browns blew a 13-point lead in the final 1 minute and 22 seconds to lose to the Jets 31-30, as Steven just said. NFL teams had won the last 2,229 consecutive games when leading by at least 13 points in the final 2 minutes.
Is that all the games in the history of the NFL?
Pretty much. The last team to blow such a lead, do you guys know who it was?
It was the Browns. In
It
like
was the
1920.
Browns in week 9 of the 2001 season against the Bears. The
Wow,
Browns
that would've been funny if it
were
was the Jets.
in that game. I believe the Bears were down 21-7 with 30 seconds left, and they won the game.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Look that game up. That's a true story. It was in Chicago. I remember watching that game. It was in Chicago. I remember the Bears fans just going fucking nuts. I think they went into overtime and they won in overtime. But I could be wrong. But yeah, the Browns, guys. The Browns, everybody. The Browns.
Sounds about Browns.
Sounds about Browns.
Yeah.
Any games you guys want to highlight that you liked
That
this weekend?
one
That
was good.
maybe you want
that
to
We
talk
was
gotta
about?
talk
good.
about the fucking Cowboys. Ugh.
The Cowboys
Sorry.
winning. Because
Steven, go on.
the Bengals. Yeah, so the Bengals don't have an offensive line still. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
By the way,
Yeah.
John was at that game, just so you guys know. He didn't invite us.
Yeah, he told me.
I don't
He
live
told me
there,
the
so-
night before. Yeah, so the Bengals have no offensive line, which means Joe Burrow has no time to throw, and he's gotten sacked 13 times in 2 games. And that's a quarterback that took your team to the Super Bowl last year.
Hey, let's be honest though. We all know Joe Burrow's not the problem there.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
not
yeah.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow,
It's the
Jamar
offensive
Chase,
line.
T. Higgins, those guys are. I mean, even
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon
I'm
is.
so glad that Lyle Collins is somebody else's fucking problem.
Oh, tell
now.
him about what you were
Yeah.
telling me yesterday about that game. You heard something. Lyle Collins did something, and he was like, "Son of a bitch!" And then he was like, "Wait,
What?
he doesn't play for us anymore."
Hold on. There's
It
a
was
fucking...
fun. They were
Go ahead, Steven.
during the broadcast. They were talking how Collins actually helped mentor Parsons on how to beat his
Oh, really?
assignment faster. Yeah,
and he's the one beating him up.
And he was the one beating him up. So
Okay.
came
good.
full circle.
Sorry, there was a bug crawling on my desk. I had to fucking take care of that real quick.
Was it a scorpion?
Josh says, "Let's
No,
talk about
thank
Lyle
God.
Collins and them false starts."
Yeah, dude. So
Yeah, he
I
had 2
got
false
out.
This is
starts.
drooling.
I got out of a softball game on Sunday because I do that in the morning now, and it was right after the half, and I was in my truck listening to it on the radio, and I heard false start Lyle Collins. Like they started talking about Lyle Collins after that, and I was like, "Fuck!" And then I thought about it. I was like, "Wait,
He's at him too.
we traded his fucking penalty ass." So yeah, I'm really glad he's somebody else's problem now. He's a good
Yep.
offensive lineman. He's just so fucking penalty prone. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
But yeah, I wholeheartedly did not expect Dallas to win. I picked against them in our weekly picks.
We all did.
Fucking, this is our year, baby.
I think all of us picked
Hey,
against them.
I had the Cowboys covering, so I didn't have him winning outright though.
Congrats to Steven for the cover. We'll
What's
get
up,
into our
Steven?
game picks later too.
I
think we have all of our records
Nah, they're
correct.
not good. The defense isn't good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
The
it's
defense is
still.
the only thing that's
Just remember
holding
this:
it
it
together.
has been 2 games. Everything will
Right.
even itself out. It always does. So
But they
Yeah.
still were able to contain Joe Mixon.
I'm not taking anything away from the Cowboys. The Cowboys played really well on Sunday. They played
did.
really well. Did what they needed to do. They won the game. So
Yep.
another game I want to highlight: Eagles and Vikings. Vikings. What the fuck? Like
Prime
Kirk-
time, baby.
prime time. I have prime time. Kirk Cousins. I should have known, man. I should have known. I drafted Kirk Cousins.
The
on my
real
fantasy team,
Vikings
guys.
team, please show up. Stand up.
By the way, just so everybody's clear, in the preseason, I predicted the Eagles and the Bills in the Super Bowl. I'm feeling pretty confident about that pick right now.
Well, it's been 2 weeks, so calm the fuck down.
Like you
I don't
said,
care.
it's 2 weeks.
Still feeling really confident. Your brother had Andrew Luck going, okay, hold on there, guy. Like,
Only been 2 weeks.
on Twitter. Yeah. But Minnesota shit the bed yesterday, huh? Jalen Hurts went
it was
off. He
bad.
went 26 of 31 for 333 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. And the pick wasn't even his fault. It bounced off somebody's hands.
Yep.
I think it was Kenneth Gainwell. Hurts was also a lethal scrambler, running 11 times for 57 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. He went off last night. A.J. Brown was the top receiver last week. He tied for 3rd in yardage Monday night. He caught 5 passes for 69 yards, trailing Dallas Goedert. He went 5 for 82, and Devontae Smith 7 for 80 yards. Brown made a great play when he caught a pass, stepped dead in his track somehow, and then juked a defender to get 23 yards. That was kind of pretty cool play. But yeah, the Vikings couldn't run because they were constantly in a deficit. Cousins led
They
the
couldn't
team.
do anything.
Hey, by the way, Cousins led the team with rushing, believe it or not, with 2 scrambles and 20 yards. Dalvin Cook was restricted to 17 yards on only 6 attempts. They shut him down. Wild. But even Justin Jefferson couldn't catch the ball. By the way, it's our tight end's name. Irv Smith Jr. had a 70-yard touchdown catch.
Justin Jefferson wouldn't have
dropped the ball. Literally, the defender fell and he hit him in the hands and he dropped it on the floor. That could have changed the tide of the game because I think it was like 14-0 at that time, or 14-7.
That is when shit really went downhill for the Vikings. It's plays like that in the NFL will destroy you.
Yeah.
If you don't make those big time catches with wide ass open field in front of you to score a touchdown, you're not going to win games.
Yeah.
At least against good competitors like the Eagles.
Yeah, we saw that last night with the Vikings. We saw that Packers last week against the Vikings. I don't know what his name is, but he had a touchdown in his hand, just dropped it.
The guy with the Packers, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Christian Watson?
Casey? Yes.
Christian Watson.
Yeah.
He dropped a pass last week too that was for a touchdown too, so. But I don't know. Game that made me feel better about the Colts losing. By the way, I see you, Frank, down there. Sunshine is the man. Duval, I know you guys beat the shit out of us. And I'm sad about it. I'm so sad about it. Still wearing my Colts gear, but we tried to find a Jaguars jersey, couldn't find them. They don't sell them here in Dallas apparently. So
nope.
Oh, Frank has
Amazon
a Jaguars jersey.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I've seen him wear them. So Josh fell through that man's hands and he has the audacity to wear Moss's number. Yeah. For real. Why isn't Moss's number retired in Minnesota?
For the Vikings?
Yeah.
Have they retired anyone before?
I don't know.
Some teams don't retire numbers.
Oh, okay.
Like the
well,
Cowboys don't retire numbers.
I don't know. Viking fans, if you ever watched this, fill us in.
True.
I don't know. I don't know shit. Don't know shit about the Vikings apparently. But you guys good on this topic? You guys want to move on to Boom or Bust? Because we're gonna go into week 3 game picks pretty soon. But is there another game you want to talk about?
I kind of want to touch on a couple of games, just quick touches though.
Yeah, quick touches. Go for it.
Kyler Murray running for 100 yards for a 2-point conversion. That was sick.
Holy yeah, dude. The Raiders fucking choked that game. The Raiders had that game won. And Kyler Murray scrambles around for like 30 seconds. Like I think the play lasted like a minute. Him scrambling around, and he ran, I think it was 84 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Total.
But
yeah,
still,
like down
that's
the field and up and around.
Crazy. He ran it in, then he just like, let's go, come on, overtime. And they went in overtime.
From fucking first down on that drive before they got the penalty for Kyler Murray to run the ball. Why wouldn't you use that? It's first and goal, and you have one of the quickest quarterbacks in the league. Most elusive quarterback in the league, probably.
Yeah.
He's very fast.
Super fast guy.
They threw 3 times in a row, converted none of them, and on the 4th attempt, there was a defensive holding call, so they got an extra set of downs. They then threw 2 more times, and on the 3rd one, they were going to throw it again. Kyler Murray had to scramble for apparently 84 yards to score a 7-yard touchdown.
Yep. It's crazy. And then actually it was a 2-point conversion. So
that was a 2-point.
It was
conversion.
an untimed down. So he ran around for about a minute, but no time came off the clock because there was no time on the clock. So crazy. And then that took it in overtime, and then they won in overtime. So I mean they earned the win, and the Dolphins too also earned their win. They were down
35-14
in the 4th quarter. 35-14 in the 4th quarter, and they came back and won that game.
And Tyreek Hill went off.
Tyreek Hill went off. Jalen Waddle went off. I sat Jalen Waddle in one of my leagues because I forgot to set my lineup. Upset about that one, but I still won, so it's okay. But Yeah.
Jimmy G's back in San Francisco
Oh,
over
yeah.
the
Trey
Seahawks
Lance
for the rest of the
ripped his
season. Poor
ankle.
Trey Lance. Sorry for that.
Yeah, you can see up at the top when the score goes by, it says rip Trey Lance's ankle. So we had a little snarky comment for each game. But the game that did make me feel better, Titans losing to the Bills. By the way, hit my blowout of the week. So
destroyed by the Bills.
we didn't lose by how much they lost by. But they did score a touchdown.
He
so
also
there's
played
that.
the fucking Jaguars. And then last game I want to touch on, the Atlanta Falcons almost edged out a 28-3 comeback. Rest in peace. Tom Brady still owns you. It's never going to happen. Give it. All right. Next topic.
Yeah, we were about to shit all over Mike on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're good, though. I'm good there.
Yeah,
Well,
I think we're
topic
good
is
for
fair. Boom or bust, Daniel. This is Daniel's section. You guys
Nice.
can go into the chat as well. Daniel's going to name a player.
Yeah. I want the chat interacting on this one.
Go ahead and explain it, Daniel.
I'm going to explain this every week just so everybody knows if there's new viewers and everything. Boom or bust, if anybody is unfamiliar, I'm going to name 7 players. Casey and Steven and I are all going to give our takes on if we think that they're going to boom or bust in week 3. Week 2 went pretty well. I think I actually don't know. I should have probably got together like everybody's boom and bust like records. I'll do that and I'll have that ready for next week to see if we got them right or not.
Yeah.
But let's jump right into this one.
Go.
Sorry, let me get players out.
No matter who you pick, Steven, you go first.
Okay.
All right. 7 players this week. Steven, there's actually a couple on your fantasy team. I didn't realize it until like I had all of them, but let's do it. First player on the list. One of our fellow Cowboys. I'm wearing his jersey right now. Mr. CD Lamb. CD Lamb against the Cincinnati Bengals last week had 7 receptions off 11 targets with 75 yards, 0 touchdowns. And then, Dallas is taking on the New York Giants this week in New York on Monday night. Steven, we're bust on CD Lamb in week 3.
That's a Monday night game this week.
Yeah, so he definitely did a lot better this week than he did last week. Thank God. He did give me more points, but my fantasy team decided not to show up last week, so it didn't matter. I'm hoping he booms just to kind of well, I'm gonna say boom because I'm playing your team, so naturally my players should do really well this week.
Yeah, that's true.
CD Lamb, by the way, right now is ranked as wide receiver 55. A lot of people drafted him as their 2nd round pick.
Steven.
Out of the entire Dallas offense, Lamb was probably the fantasy asset that was under the microscope most in Cooper Rush's first game as starting quarterback. With this pressure, he delivered a solid fantasy performance while leading the team in targets. Great bounce back from week 1 because week 1 was trash. Despite a good sign of connection between Rush and Lamb. Rush really does like to throw to Lamb, which is good. But I see him as a wide receiver too, and he's playing the Giants this week. I'm going to say boom because I think either the Giants are good or they're going to get exposed this week. But I don't think they're as good as they've been playing. Also, the Dallas, this game is going to come down to defenses, and I think Dallas has a better defense. So I'm picking the Giants to lose to Dallas, and CeeDee Lamb booms.
Okay. Well, that's an easy.
Who did the Giants play last week?
They played the Panthers, and they beat the
Carolina
Titans in week 1.
And they won.
So they've been to they're okay teams.
Both on the road.
So
it's the NFL.
That's true.
Anybody can beat anybody in any given week. I'll say it all fucking year.
That's why we play the games.
That's why we play the goddamn games. Anyway,
oh wait,
I'm gonna go to the chat real quick before I give my take. I have Janeth booming. Quick shout out to Janeth. Today is her birthday.
Happy birthday, Janeth!
Happy birthday!
She is 24.
We're trying to get this stream done so you guys can go to dinner. John, boom. John says boom.
Boom.
Josh says boom. Oh, Josh, you can't have a question about it has to be boom or bust. There's no in between.
Or bust.
So depends on if Rush Hour targets him or Noah Brown. So he says boom, but he says it
we'll
depends.
Take Josh on
so we'll take you as a boom.
Everybody's got him booming right now.
I think boom because Dalton Schultz looks like he might be out for a bit. We don't know. I think he has a sprain. So
Yeah, he fucked up
I
his
mean,
knee.
more-
He fell on his knee awkwardly last week, and I think he sprained his like patella or some bullshit.
Well, that's not good.
yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully he's back soon.
I have a sprained leg, so sprained ankle,
Yeah.
so I know how that feels.
All
It
right,
sucks.
Daniel. Boomer
You're not a
bust.
professional athlete, Casey.
Not- Far from it.
Okay, I'm gonna give my last take here. We're all booming on CeeDee Lamb this week. Casey, the fact that you're saying that CeeDee Lamb is a wide receiver 2 makes me kind of upset. The only reason that I can kind of see that though is because of his size. He's not a big like go-to down the field wide receiver like Michael Gallup or Amari Cooper last year.
Here's the thing: CeeDee Lamb should be a wide receiver 1 because he has the talent of a wide receiver 1.
Right.
He hasn't played like a wide receiver 1 yet this year. This is why I have him as a wide receiver 2 going into this game this week.
He
Well,
did do a
2
lot better
weeks.
this week, though.
First week was, I think the first week from the Cowboys was a fucking fluke, honestly. That was a terrible, terrible game all around, and week 2 looked so much better. But yeah. Anyway, back to the topic. I think CeeDee Lamb will boom this week. Steven, he's on your fantasy team. I'm playing Steven this week, so I mean that's already a given there. He'll probably go for like 40 fucking points somehow.
Damn. All right, start CeeDee Lamb, guys.
Oh.
He's playing Daniel.
Yeah. I mean, if you have CeeDee Lamb on your fantasy team, make sure you start him this week. I think he'll do really well.
Oh yeah, you have to start him regardless, but depends on your team.
Yeah. Cool. So first one done with. CeeDee Lamb is a boomer.
He is a boomer. He's a boomer sooner because he went to
Boomer.
Oklahoma. All
Oklahoma.
right, next player, Daniel.
All right. Next player we have
Position are we going
also
to? Here?
on Steven's fantasy team. I tell you, I went through all of these and then I looked at the fantasy teams and I was like, fuck, they're all on Steven's team. The next pick I have, same game, different team. It's going to be Mr. Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants.
Saquon.
In week 2 versus Carolina, Saquon had 21 attempts for 72 yards. He averaged 3.4 yards per carry. His longest carry was 16 yards. He also had 3 receptions for 16 yards and no touchdowns. Steven, on an unbiased fantasy pick, boomer bust for Saquon Barkley against the Dallas Cowboys. Tough run defense
I think
in week 3.
it is a tough run defense, but the Cowboys have been giving up runs up the middle pretty well. These 2 games, so that could lead to some big runs for him, which is not good for us Cowboy fans, but good for my fantasy team. I mean, he showed up week 1. He went off week 1. Week 2, he kind of came back down to earth a little bit, but I think he'll be very consistent this week. So I think, God, he's projected 14 points, which is actually not, which is a little bit low.
That's not that bad for a running back, especially in a non-PPR league.
That's true. I'm gonna say boom, just because I know that the Cowboy defense up the middle can be leaky. Off the edge, I think the Cowboys are great. But up the middle, if they just do some dives up the middle, he can get some good yards. So I'm gonna go boom.
So
Perfect.
Saquon Barkley, running back 4 currently in fantasy football. He tallied 72 yards and 21 rushing attempts, as you said, Daniel, and caught 3 of his 4 targets for 16 yards in a week 2 win against the Panthers. He's averaging 3.4 yards per carry, lower than his 9.1 yards per carry in week 1. That was last week. He's 25 years old. He still gets involved in the game, which is positive for fantasy managers like Steven. And then you have your Dallas Cowboys defense, which you called a tough defense, correct?
Yes.
Tough run defense?
I believe that.
So, let me throw some stats at you. The Cowboys rush defense, you're giving up 120 rush yards per game, and you're giving up about 18 points per game to running backs in the first 2 games. So I'm going to have to go boom here with Mr. Saquon Barkley. I like their offensive line. I like what the Giants did in the offseason, and I think he's going to find the end zone this Monday. It's a rivalry game, the NFC East. You guys all kill each other, so
That's the big
I'm
thing
going
this
boom
week.
on Mr. Saquon Barkley. And then if you go to the chat here, Janeth says boom because I want them to beat the Cowboys. Janeth is an Eagles fan, guys.
Yep.
Josh, boom. It's going to be the Giants' only offensive production. I
agree.
can
That
kind
could
of
be
agree
true.
with you with that. And I don't like the Giants quarterback, so I think
Daniel
he's...
Casey
Jones,
has a hatred for Daniel Jones.
I don't
for some
hate
reason.
him. He's just not a...
You just don't like him.
He's so lanky, and it's just weird to watch him play football.
He took over Eli Manning's spot. You think they're going to put in a stud there? Eli Manning was there for like 15 years. He's the most boring quarterback to ever play.
I can think of more boring
To
quarterbacks.
Eli or
Yeah, Eli, well, one of.
Eli's
one
got
of.
2 Super Bowls, so John.
That's I didn't say he wasn't good. He's just boring.
John, agreed. Boom, but not the same level as his Week 1 performance. I could kind of agree with that, John. Not as proficient as Week 1, but not as bad as last week.
if he can give me a good solid 20, 25 points, I'll be happy.
Good
Will
Lord.
you though? Because it's against the Cowboys. You always pick your team over your fantasy team, Steven. You know this.
I know. I didn't say it like Josh said.
The Cowboys just have to score more and win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. If he's got 25 fantasy points, you might not be winning the game.
He can have like 2 70-yard runs. That's all I care.
Okay, I'll
And
give
then
you that.
and then kick a field goal. That's fine with me.
And then kick a field goal.
What says you, Daniel?
I didn't know that stat against the fucking running defense. I didn't know that was our kryptonite. Because I always see the defensive line in the backfield, but I guess that's just on passing plays, apparently. I'm still going to go bust because Saquon Barkley is very hit or miss. He is not a consistent player. And through past years, one, he's been injured a lot.
He's not right now, though.
That's true. 2, I still believe in Dallas's defense. I believe in the defensive line. I think Dallas is getting their shit together 1 week at a time. And I think Dallas's defense is the only thing they really have going for them right now. So I'm going to say bust on Saquon Barkley. I think they're going to game plan for Saquon Barkley because the Giants don't have a great receiving core. They can't stay healthy either. You don't like Daniel Jones. He's not a great quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he's not as bad as you think.
He's bad.
I mean, that helps my cause, though, you know? I like Daniel Jones, honestly, but he's a middle-of-the-pack quarterback for sure.
Just to throw some more stuff on your Cowboys defense, they are averaging 200 pass yards a game given up, and they are ranked defense number 16 in the league right now.
Yeah, the first game fucked us.
Yeah, first game, that's a pretty skewed stat there. But
It's
more
only
games to
week 2,
come.
though.
15 games left, guys. 15 games left.
Exactly.
We got a lot of time here.
But yeah,
I'll
disagree with you guys and say bust on Saquon Barkley, that wink. But I'll just say that to disagree with you guys and be right in week 3. I'll get the recap from the last 2 weeks of these and get them together. Casey's showing off.
It's corn.
Something. Oh my god.
It's got the juice.
I hate you guys. All right. So Saquon Barkley, we have consensus. Boom for week 3. Moving on. Next player. Pause. Actually, I'm going to go to the chat before we start this. Josh is going off over there. He says only offensive production. We already read that one. And John. And then Daniel Jones is bottom quarter of QBs. He's awful.
Josh hates everybody that's in the Cowboys division. So that's kind of a skewed stat there. Because it's
he's
Josh.
Not that terrible. I promise you, he's not that bad.
He's pretty bad.
It's not.
It's pretty bad.
Anyway, let's move into the next player
the Colts might sign him next year, so be careful.
At least he's not like Jared Goff. He's so golful.
Boo. Fucking boo.
Golful.
God, I hate this guy.
He's canceled.
All right, next fucking player. Jesus. All right. The Detroit Lions are going into where this week? Sorry, I fucked that up.
The Lions are playing, I don't remember who.
The Lions are playing the Vikings.
Vikings, yes. Sorry. Detroit storms into Minnesota this week to play the Vikings. Next player that we have is wide receiver from the Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Love Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown in the first 2 weeks of the NFL has played ridiculously well. They almost came back on the Eagles in week 1. Week 2, they beat out the Commanders at home. In week 2, Amon-Ra St. Brown had 9 receptions on 12 targets for 116 yards. He averaged 13 yards per catch. Well, 12.9. We'll round that up. He had 2 touchdowns and a long of 49 yards for catching.
He also ran the ball twice for 68 yards.
Yeah, he also ran the ball twice for 68 yards. Both of those runs were 34 yards, believe it or not.
Good average.
Yeah. So, oh no, just kidding. Actually, his longest was 58, and then he ran for a 10-yard, I guess. and it averaged out to 34
Oh.
yards. My fault.
Oh,
Either
that's not
way.
fun anymore.
That's pretty crazy for a wide receiver. Going into Minnesota, though, could be a different story. I think Minnesota might bounce back this week. But Steven, we'll go ahead and start with you on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Boom or bust?
So he's been pretty productive these past 2 weeks. He played a good Eagles team. He played a not so good Commanders team. I think the Commanders are starting to show their colors now. But the Vikings, we don't know what the Vikings are, as
True.
we saw last week. So I think Jared Goff will probably use him very productively. And am I gonna go boom 3 times in a row? I think I am. I think he's gonna boom again
Boom, 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 boom. Don't want you in my room.
because he's on your team.
I say boom too. St. Brown was absolutely terrific on Sunday. He proved everything to everyone that he's a wide receiver 1. He is wide receiver 2 in fantasy right now, believe it or not.
Who's number 1?
Number 1
Pretty sure it's
is Stephon Diggs. And then number
Stephon-
2,
oh, yeah, never mind.
actually tied
After-
for second is Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jalen Waddle. And then number 4 is Tyreek Hill. Number 5, Cooper Kupp. Number 6, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson will launch up that list later in the year, though, because Vikings got shit on yesterday. So, but Amon-Ra St. Brown has 3 touchdowns on the season, which ranks first in the league. He also has 17 receptions total, which ranks third in the league. He is clearly a set and forget candidate for the rest of the season. I say boom. Did you see what the Eagles did to the Vikings passing the ball? I know I said Jared Goff is awful, but he's not awful. He's
He's a lot better
great
than he
quarterback.
was.
He's better than Daniel Jones, and he can throw the ball.
I agree with that.
He's going to throw it to
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's going to score some points. He finds the end zone this week, too.
More than once?
Fuck it. Yeah. Twice.
Just for those parlays out there.
Yeah. I might do that parlay. I'll be in Indy. I can bet. So, parlay. I'm going to parlay Amon-Ra St. Brown, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdown scorer.
There you go. Casey fucking wrapped that out nicely.
Fuck yeah.
I agree with you guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a big surprise this year. Also, Detroit is a big surprise this year. Who the fuck are the Lions this year? What the hell is going on?
I told you at the first stream. I said Detroit's a lot better this year.
Me and
I
Steven
didn't
both
think
told
they'd be
you.
this good though. They almost beat
And
Philly.
You and
was
Tony
like,
said that they
the
were trash.
Lions?
The Lions are
You said they were
trash.
Well, trash. And I was like, no,
Well,
they're going to be a lot better this year.
They're going to
Past
be better.
years have proven they are trash. So they're getting their shit together though.
The
I like it.
Lions
I like,
are not the Lions anymore. The Browns are probably the fucking Browns still, because I don't know how the fuck they lost on.
The Lions, well, the whole division is 1-1 right now. So
Yeah. John in the chat, big boom, helps that the Lions team has been playing ridiculously hyped. And yes, they have been playing ridiculously hyped. Josh just says boom. No comment, just boom.
the Lions have scored, I think, 35 points each game so far.
They scored 35 against, I thought they scored 36 against the Commanders.
they scored 36 against the
Yeah.
Commanders and 35
And
against the
35.
Eagles.
So
That offense is
35 and a
clicking.
half.
Yeah, firing on all cylinders.
Who's your next,
Tony's in the chat.
Oh, Tony?
Um,
Tony, we miss you. The Colts are now the Lions. Oh my God, he's right. Fuck you, Tony.
where was I before I was interrupted again?
Next player.
The next player.
Yeah, sure. All right.
You just
Next player we have played the Lions last week. And this week they are playing, I think it's the Eagles.
The Lions?
Yes. No, they're playing the Eagles this
who's
week. Washington
the
Commanders.
Commanders.
Carson Wentz playing against Philadelphia in Washington this week. Steven, we'll go ahead and start with you again. We'll keep the cycle going. Let me go over
What
his
was
stats
his
real quick,
stats
though.
last week?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Stats last week, he completed 30 for 46. He had a 65.2 completion percentage. He threw for 337 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a quarterback rating of 99.7. So, boom or bust on Carson Wentz in week 3 against the Eagles.
I'm gonna go bust. This Eagles team is probably showing its true colors, and they're really good. And if they did what they did to Justin Jefferson next week, and that entire offense, the Vikings offense, then the Commanders probably won't put up any points, honestly. So I'm gonna go bust.
I don't think the Eagles' defense is that good.
You said
They
that
just
last
showed
week.
out because it was their home opener.
It was Monday night.
It was Monday Night Football, and we all know how bad Kirk Cousins is on primetime games. I think he's only won one ever. Two ever. There you go. He's played like 20.
I think he's 2-28 now.
Yeah,
after
that's
last night
insane.
in primetime.
Eagles
games.
defense. They've had 60 total targets thrown against them. 44 have been receptions. They've given up 576 receiving yards this year. Carson Wentz can sling the ball. He's got Scary Terry on his team. He's got Jahan Dotson, the new rookie, on their team. He has been pretty remarkable to start the season. They also have Curtis Samuel on their team, who I have in another fantasy league, and he went off last week. They're going to sling the ball. I think they're going to score some points. I'm going to say boom for Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is also ranked quarterback 4 in fantasy right now, believe it or not.
Yeah, he went fucking nuts in week 2.
Yeah, he went crazy. So I'm going to say boom on Carson Wentz. I think I'm all booms right now. I don't think I have a bust. Wink.
Yeah. I stopped and just smiled at you for a second there on that one. Before I go, I'm going to jump over to the chat again. John says, boom, mostly because my starting fantasy QBs have combined for like 6 points so far this year, so third time's got to be the charm. Josh says, bust. No surprise there. Eagles going to put more pressure and make Wentz, W-I-N-C-E, not how you spell his name, do what he does under pressure and start making stupid decisions. R.I.P. his ankles. Signed, Aaron Donald.
I saw that live. Saw that man live. Just go broken ankles.
Yeah, you basically got tackled by a fucking sun bear. So, I'm gonna agree with Casey here. I think Carson Wentz is finally getting his shit back together. After he departed from Philly, after Nick Foles went and won him a Super Bowl. He did get them to the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but Nick Foles won them that Super Bowl. Carson Wentz departed, ended up in Indianapolis for a year. Aaron Donald mauled him, broke both of his ankles, and ruined the Colts season. He is now in Washington with the Commanders, and through 2 weeks has shown out pretty well. So he might be back. I'm going to boom for Carson Wentz this week against the Philly defense. Casey, you listed a lot of really good receivers on the Commanders roster. And I think Philly comes back down to earth just a little bit.
Same.
This week. Darius Slay fucking shut down Justin Jefferson last week. But honestly, a lot of the thing, like a lot of it was because Kirk Cousins can't make an accurate throw. A lot of Kirk Cousins' throws in that game yesterday were god awful. They were fucking terrible.
They had some drop passes too that really threw it.
Yeah,
in.
that's the thing too. But I'm getting at just fucking let me do my thing. So yeah, I'm gonna boom on Carson Wentz this week. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so we have 2 booms for Carson Wentz, and Steven is gonna go for bust on that one. So far we have
I'm about to bust.
4 booms thus far. We got 3 more players to get through. Next player we have is John in the chat. John is in the chat.
Yes, he is.
John's team, the Houston Texans, roll into Chicago to take on the Bears. The player for this week for the Houston Texans to boom or bust is Rex Burkhead.
Ooh, that's a good one.
In week 2 against the Broncos, he recorded no stats. Except, oh no, just kidding. He had 2 receptions for 9 yards. That's it. No rushing yards. But they're playing the Bears this week. I think they will go back to running the ball a little bit. And yeah, Steven, we'll start with Rex Burkhead. Boom or bust?
Burkhead. I think I actually picked him up last week in my fantasy, but I sat him last week. Yep,
Good
sure
move.
did.
Good move.
What, did you sit him out and pick him up?
No, sit him out last week.
Oh yeah, I picked him up because I needed another running back because Eli Mitchell got hurt. He's playing who? The Bears.
Yeah, they're
The
playing
Bears.
the Bears in Chicago.
The Bears.
The
The
thing,
Bears.
let me real quick. The thing with that too is that game was just so boring. There was like no production anywhere. So there's that. But go ahead, Steven.
So he did pretty well against the Colts, but he vanished last week. Um,
I'm gonna put the Jeopardy.
I think
theme
they'll
song.
probably use him a little bit more. Sorry, I got someone texting me, and it was an emergency. And I got distracted. Uh, I think he'll boom. I think they'll use both of them pretty well, Damian Pierce and Rex Burkhead against the Bears, and the Bears are still trying to figure themselves out. So I'm gonna go boom.
Okay, Casey, thoughts?
Rex Burkhead was used against the Colts. He was not used against Denver. I don't think he's going to be used against the Bears very much. Damian Pierce is the guy in Houston. And Texans said that they were going to look to get Damian Pierce more involved, and it's going to come at the expense of Rex Burkhead. So I don't see much happening. I think you're better keeping Rex Burkhead on the bench or switching him out for another player. I'm going to say bust.
Already? Steven, you said boom, right?
Steven did
They
say
did.
boom. John
Okay,
is in
so
the
we're
chat.
split right now. John says, surprisingly, bust. Lovey Smith said Pierce is a bigger part of the game plan moving forward. The future is now, old man.
Yep, there you go.
He just got over that, went over that one too. So you guys are both on the same page with that. I'm gonna go ahead and agree though, and take bust for Mr. Rex Burkhead in week 3. Chicago has looked a lot better than I think a lot of people were thinking. They're also in Chicago, so I don't see Houston. I think Houston's returning back to earth a little bit. There's no way they should have even tied the Colts in week 1, and week 2. They were in Denver. They put up a fight, but I'm still not sold on Denver either. So I'm gonna take bust as well for Rex Burkhead. So that will get us through him. Next player we have, we should have more to talk about on this one. Tua Tagovailoa. Week 3, the Dolphins are playing the Bills in Miami. So, I'm not even going to give a description. I'll give the stats real quick. In week 2 against the Ravens in their comeback, Tua completed 36 for 50 attempts. He had a 72% completion percentage. He threw for 469 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He had a QB rating of 124.1. They are playing the Bills this week, however. So, yeah. Steven, go ahead and get us started with boom or bust for Tua Tagovailoa.
So Tua has been proving all of his doubters wrong so far this year, which is good. He needed that a lot, and the Dolphins needed that especially. Because if he wasn't, then the Dolphins were probably going to look for a new quarterback. But the Bills are just a different machine. And the Bills... How have the Bills' passing defense been lately?
I mean, they've fucking demolished both of the teams that they played so far. So I would assume not very
the
good.
Titans don't have a receiving core, so
Bills are ranked number 2 defense in the league. They have given up, so they on 65 pass attempts, only 41 completions, 63% completion percentage. They've given up 298 yards, 149 yards a game.
So
passing.
The Dolphins probably have the best receiving core out of everybody that they've played so far this year. The Rams apparently only have Cooper Kupp. The Titans don't have anybody. I think he'll still boom this week. I think he'll do well. I don't think they'll win, but I think he'll do well. He's not going to have 6 touchdowns, Jesus Christ, but he should get a couple, at least a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
Here's something that people fail to realize. The first half, they were down 28-7. He only threw 1 touchdown in the first half. He threw 5 in the second half. It was his career best game, for sure. I think he's QB 5 overall in standard formats. Let me double check that. He is QB5 overall. This outing was exactly what fantasy owners wanted to see out of the Dolphins quarterback when he was placed in a pass-friendly game script. He's not in a pass-friendly game script in week 3. He has a tough matchup against an elite Bills defense. If he performs well against the Bills, he's going to become a very desirable fantasy quarterback. He should be already picked up in all leagues. I will say boom. I don't think he's going to have a 6-touchdown game, but he's going to put up good fantasy points. So I'm going to say boom.
I agree.
Wonderfully said, Casey. That was good. Before I go, let's jump over. John says boom because it'll be a shootout.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game.
See that. Josh says bust. He's good, but won't have that kind of production against the AFC Super Bowl 58 representative. I'm going to agree with Josh on this one and take bust. I think the Bills are a different breed this year. I think the Bills are going into every single game this season with the same mentality that they are going into the game down by 25 points. They are out for blood this year. They demolished the defending Super Bowl champion Rams. That was in LA too, wasn't it?
I'm not impressed with the Rams after these 2 weeks, by the way, but you can keep
Either
going.
way, they just won the Super Bowl, but in LA as well, destroyed them. And then week 2, you just put on a fucking clinic. I say it every week. Nobody should beat anybody in the NFL like that. I said it about the Chiefs a week ago, and I'll say it about fucking Bills this week. It should never happen. Like, the skill gap is just not there. It's the NFL. They're all professional athletes. It's just insane. So I'm going to take the Bills to shut down Tua, bring him back down to earth a little bit, and have him struggle in week 3.
Bills
Bust.
on upset alert, though. Big time.
Yes.
This should be a good game.
Yeah, I agree that it'll be a shootout. Maybe not a high-scoring shootout. I don't know. That game is going to be weird. Why play the games? We got to see how that one plays out because the Dolphins could fucking show up and beat the Bills. It wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know. I'm going to take bust.
Next player.
Yes. Last player on the docket. Kind of goes hand in hand. It's Mr. Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill in week 2. Same game, obviously. Had 11 receptions on 13 targets. Only missed 2 targets. Had 190 receiving yards. He averaged 17 yards per reception. Had 2 touchdowns. And didn't run for anything. So, Steven, we'll make one more cycle. Tyreek Hill, boom or bust.
If Tua can get him the ball, he's going to boom. But the Bills defense, as we've talked about a lot, will follow a game plan for him because the Bills have seen Tyreek Hill beat him up pretty well against Kansas City. So I think they'll game plan for him because that's Tua's biggest target right now, as he should be. I still think with Tua booming, I will have Tyreek booming too. But that's all dependent on Tua playing well. So
Casey?
I'll say boom.
So you have Jalen Waddle. You have Tua busting, but you have Tyreek booming.
I'm booming. Daniel hasn't busting.
I bust.
Oh, you
I
bust.
did
Okay, never
for
mind. I was gonna
Tua.
say, what the hell? All right.
Oh yeah, Steven's booming on
All
both.
right. That makes more sense then.
Josh, on the other hand, in the chat, did that. So
Yeah, but Hill was up to his usual antics, getting the Dolphins a second half comeback with 2 deep touchdowns. He got loose on the field with ease when the Ravens knew the Dolphins needed points in a hurry. I mean, they were just throwing the ball like crazy, and they were connecting. I'm going to say boom. I mean, if Tua's going to boom, he has to boom because they go hand in hand, like Daniel said. I like Tyreek. I like Tyreek Hill better than Jalen Waddle on this team, on a fantasy team, because this dude's just so fast. I don't know if you saw one of his touchdowns, but he caught the ball and already had his fingers up in the air, and he was like on the 20-yard line. So
that's crazy.
Crazy. But
He's just a different breed.
yeah, Jalen Waddle had 19 targets last game. He won't get that many targets this game, and I think they'll spread the ball around a little more. Boom.
Boom for Casey. The last sentence that you just said is the argument. That's why I picked both of them. Because there are a lot of mouths to feed in Miami.
Sure are, but
So even if Tua does boom and the Bills game plan for Tyreek Hill, that means Tua's going to have to go somewhere else. That's why I thought it was a tougher pick than this, but
yeah, they have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on their team. Jalen Waddle is Tyreek Hill 2.0. So
but that's what I'm saying.
They're going to be fine.
They're going to game plan for Tyreek Hill, so Jalen Waddle might get more of the targets.
Yeah,
this week. So
we'll see. I mean, I think the targets that Hill gets, he's going to convert them. So this guy, he's not going to drop the ball. He's going to catch it and run. So,
well, we'll see. I'll finish off here. Same thing. I picked Tua to bust. I think the pass rush from the Bills will suppress him, and I think that the Dolphins are going to get held down pretty hard, just like the Bills have done to every other team that they've played this year. So, bust for me.
Bust for Daniel. All right. Did you already read all the chats?
No, let me catch up on them real quick, and then we will move into the last topic. Where are we? Josh. Josh said, boom, period. Dude is out for blood. That was it. John said, boom by association, but Waddle even more so because Hill freed him up on a lot of looks this past week. Agreed, John. And one more time for Josh. Tua is going to throw picks, but Hill is on a completely different mission and will be not Tua, but Thea's production. Tua's production. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and conclude Boom or Bust for week 2 going into week 3. Thank you guys in the chat for participating on that. We really appreciate that. That's super dope to get you guys' takes on that too and be able to read them off while we do that. So I'll go ahead and pass it back over to Casey so he can lead us into our last topic.
All right, last topic, guys. It's always the most fun one. Everybody in the chat, if you guys want to join us in these game predictions as well, week 3 game predictions, always a great thing to talk about. The first game that we will be talking about here is the Pittsburgh Steelers Thursday Night Football going into the Browns, into Cleveland to play the Browns. What do you guys think is going to transpire in this game?
I want to say something really quick. If you guys don't follow our TikTok page, please go do that. If you have a TikTok, just go do it. Casey and I filmed we film TikTok predictions every week for the games, and then we do a full in-depth analysis with spreads and everything on here for you guys. Last night was kind of a mess. So we were able to develop a full blooper reel for that. So if you guys don't follow us on TikTok, go check it out. Go check out our predictions.
It's pretty hilarious.
Good. It's pretty good, if I do say so myself. So yeah. But yeah, you guys go ahead and start with the Steelers and the Browns.
Steve
Browns. This one was kind of a toss-up for me. I have the Browns. What's the spread?
That's what I'm pulling up right now. So give me a second.
Oh, okay.
That's why I wanted you guys
right now
first.
I have the Browns beating the Steelers just because I don't think the Steelers offense is there right now, unless they start Kenny Pickett's. But we'll see. But the Steelers obviously struggled offensively last week. They just have a good defense as they held the Patriots to only 17 points. But the Patriots don't really have an offense either. So
believe it or not,
sorry, Tony.
The Browns are favored by 4.5 in this game.
Yeah, sorry, Tony. I'm gonna have to go with the Browns over the Steelers this week. And
the Browns.
I think the Browns 4.5 points. I think the Steelers will cover that still, just because the Steelers' defense is still pretty good. But I have the Browns winning.
He taking the Browns in a close one against the Steelers.
Over the Steelers.
The Steelers are getting a below-average QB play from Mitchell Trubisky before they decided to turn to Kenny Pickett eventually. The Browns are seeing Jacoby Brissett play well, and while they wait for Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb has been the driving force of the offense that can succeed against this Pittsburgh front seven. I just can't pick the Browns, though. I mean, I think they're a great team, and they'll play well.
You don't.
This is a division game. I do. They are a great team. They're a really good team. I think Pittsburgh's going to find a way to win. They always find a way to win in Cleveland. And Cleveland, the Browns can generate enough points to win this game. But also, Mitchell Trubisky is going to be in a hostile environment of everybody going all around him.
And keep Miles Garrett away from him.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a great game. I like Pittsburgh to win the game, though. And I obviously I have them winning, so I don't have the Browns covering. I would, if I were to play anything in this game, I don't think I'm going to bet on this game. But if I did, I think I'd take Pittsburgh plus 4.5. I think Pittsburgh's going to keep it close or win this game. But I have them to win. I think they cover the 4.5. And yeah, that's my pick.
Good closeout on that one.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything else there. I kind of went over everything.
Happens, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard live, you know?
Hits you in the face.
Okay. I will give my take here now. I am going to take the Browns. I like them at home. I think the Steelers have come back down to earth from their week 1 win. Did they win last week? No, right?
No, they lost to the Patriots.
That's right. Yeah.
And the Browns gave up that last second game to the Jets, which is why I can't pick them.
Right. I understand. But division rivalry. The Browns are the home team. I like the Browns this game. Nick Chubb, I think, is going to eat. And I almost said Justin. Jacoby Brissett has impressed me thus far. So I'm taking the Browns.
Browns.
Yeah. Give me the Browns.
All right, next game here, we have the I almost said Oakland. We have the Las Vegas Raiders rolling into Tennessee. The Raiders are 2-point favorites. Over under in this game is 45.5. I don't know if I'd bet that. The Raiders with Derek Carr and the Titans with Mike Vrabel are two of the most unpredictable entities in the NFL. Las Vegas should have great success passing downfield with Carr here, but Tennessee can counter with getting Derrick Henry back on track to set up strong answers from Ryan Tannehill. I just don't believe in Ryan Tannehill. I think that the Raiders are going to win this game. I like them to cover. Tennessee looked terrible against the Bills, and I have no faith that they can win this game. They look terrible against the Giants, too. They're 0-2. Can't say shit because my team sucks, too, but
you're not 0-2, though.
We're not 0-2. We're half game ahead, but Raiders cover. I think they win this game. It'll be closer than the Titans game last night, but they'll compete a little better in this game. But Raiders, take them -2.
What do you got, Steven?
By the way, Tony, we forgot to mention Tony's pick last for the Steelers game. Tony has the Steelers over the Browns.
Yeah, we'll have you in charge of that because I got to run all this shit.
Tony also picked the Raiders over the Titans, and I'm going to have to agree with both of you. I just don't think Tennessee's offense will be able to keep up because they really don't have a passing game. They just have Derrick Henry, and I don't think Derrick Henry will be able to keep them in this game. The Raiders' offense is a lot more potent. They definitely have Hunter Renfrow, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams. I think they should go off, and they should win this game pretty easily, honestly. What's the spread again?
Raiders are favored by 2.
I think the Raiders will cover.
Easily. The Raiders will cover. All right. Did you give your take on this game, Daniel?
No. Not yet. I'm going to disagree with you guys. One, because I have Derrick Henry on my fantasy football team, and
not
a
good reason to disagree. Not a good reason to disagree.
I know that's not a good reason. That's just one of them. The Titans got to fucking win a game, man. They're not this bad. They're really not. I don't believe that they're this bad. I think the Titans, after what we've seen from the Colts in the first 2 weeks, I think the Titans should win the division. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Tennessee's going to come back home and finally win a game. Yeah. I don't have a big reason for it other than they have to win. It's kind of like a have to win kind of thing, you know? But yeah.
That's all you got?
Yeah, pretty much.
Shane is in the chat. Tony said, don't you put that bad omen on my Steelers. Shane said, my fantasy team is better than yours. Josh says Browns, solely because the Steelers are playing Mitchell Trubisky. Tony, automatic loss when Casey picks your team. Hey, I have a better record than all y'all. By the way, what is your overall record, Steven?
16-15-1.
Daniel, what is your overall record?
I don't remember. I think it's 14-17-1. It's not good.
You are 14-17-1. My overall record is 18-13-1. So after 2 weeks, I'm ahead. Josh, Titans car is overrated. I disagree with you, Josh. Appreciate the love, though, Casey. If they can put in Kenny, it'll be a game changer for the Steelers. Shane, can we just take a moment to see that I am in first for fantasy? Thank you, Auto Draft.
We already did.
Yeah, we already did, Shane. We already went over that in the beginning. See on the top where it says fantasy draft recap right there? Look, right there, week 2. We went over that. We talked about you. We talked about our league.
Bullshit Auto Draft.
Yeah, fuck you.
So actually, Tony is in first place. He's 19-12-1.
19-12-1.
Shit on.
He's on 19-12-1.
That's what he said.
He's lying.
He had a really good week 1.
19-4-1.
He was like 9-4.
He says 19-4-1. No, that can't be right.
19-12-1.
We'll figure it out later. Who cares? We gotta move on to
this. Mad because he's not winning anymore.
19-12-1. I didn't see that earlier. Whatever. Anyway, he's a game ahead of me apparently. Next game here, we have the Baltimore Ravens rolling into New England. Baltimore is favored by 3. The over-under in this game is 43.5. I might take the over in that game if I'm betting on this game. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens downfield passing game is humming, and that's because the entire running game in week 2. What the heck? Oh, and he became the entire running game in week 2. Sorry, I messed that up. Can't read my notes here. Patriots don't have the receivers to keep up with the Ravens secondary, and the Ravens secondary is really good. And Baltimore's going to be mad. Baltimore's going to be mad from last week, giving up that big lead to Miami. I know the Ravens are going into Foxborough, but I like the Ravens to win and cover that 3 over the New England Patriots. So give me the Ravens.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on that one, Casey. It should be no surprise. Like you've been saying the entire season, the Patriots are mediocre. They're boring.
Sure are.
There's no reason for me to pick the Patriots other than maybe that they're at home. But other than that, I mean, the Ravens have severely more talent. And I think the Ravens will storm into Foxborough and fuck them up. I don't think it'll be a close game. I think the Ravens are going to bounce back after that tough defeat to Miami. And they're going to destroy the Patriots.
Steven.
I'm going to have to agree with both of you. I mean, the Ravens should be very angry of how they lost that game on Sunday to the Dolphins. Don't get me wrong. The Dolphins are a good team, but they still shouldn't have lost to the Dolphins like that. So they will be angry. They're going into Foxborough with a Patriots team that struggles offensively, has an okay defense, but the Ravens are just going to outclass them in all categories, I think, and they should cover pretty easily this Sunday. And Tony also has the Ravens beating the Patriots.
All of us are on the Ravens this week. All right, let's go to the chat here. Tony, sorry, 8-8 this week. For real, though, make us some food. 11-4-1 last week. I don't remember
Tony had a really good week 1.
I don't remember him going.
Yeah, Tony had a really good. He had a really good first week.
Did we make picks in week 1?
Yes. You were 9-7. No, that was last week or this week. Week 1, I was 6-9-1. Steven, I think was 7-8-1.
No, I was 8-7-1.
8-7-1, and then Casey, you were 9-6-1.
Yeah. Okay. Josh says Lamar is overrated, but Lamar is not overrated.
Overrated.
You need to shut up with this overrated bullshit. Like you think every quarterback's overrated. Carr's overrated. Jones overrated. I mean, I'll give you Jones. Jones pretty overrated, but Lamar is not overrated. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. The Pats aren't good. Give me the Ravens. So Josh is on the Ravens here. Moving on to the next game here, we have the Bengals, who are starting shockingly 0-2 this year, going into New York to face the 1-1 Jets. Jets came back against the Browns last week, and the Bengals at 0-2 likely won't take the Jets lightly on the road for a second consecutive season. They lost in New York last year, so just remember that. Isn't that crazy? The Jets beat the Bengals last year, and the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. So,
anything could happen.
I think Joe Burrow will have a chance to throw some downfield shots here. But, by the way, the Bengals are favored by 5 in this game. But I have no faith in this Bengals offensive line. They say it got better. It isn't better. They've given up 13 sacks in 2 games, which is ridiculous. You guys got to him 6 times?
Yep.
6 times.
Yeah, so
times,
he
and
got
then the
sacked
week
7
before was
times.
7.
So week 1, he got sacked 7 times. So 13 sacks for Joe Burrow in 2 weeks. This Bengals O-line is not better. Bengals favored by 5, not taking that. I'm actually taking the Jets straight up. Jets are plus 180 to win this game. I am taking the Jets. I think the Jets will win. They're at home. I think they played some pretty good football towards the end of the game there. And take the Jets straight up. I'm on the Jets.
That could be a good bet to take, honestly. Because we don't know with Cincinnati. But Steven, go ahead and give your take, and I'll round us off.
I just don't think the Bengals are gonna go into MetLife and lay another egg. They're probably really angry. I have the Bengals beating the Jets. I just don't think they can go 0-3, especially against the Jets. They're just not that bad of a team. They just don't have an offensive line.
I think they are.
And they didn't have an offensive line last year, and they went to the Super Bowl.
It's true.
So
it is true.
Might have used up all their juice there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I
just can't see them losing 3 games in a row. I don't think the Jets are going to get to him as many times as 6 or 7. They may get to him 3 or 4 times, but I think Joe Burrow can win a game with that. So
it's
I have the
weird. There's a lot of weird things going on in Cincinnati. Before I go though, let's jump into the chat and get you guys' opinions. Josh says if Joe survives the game, I'm taking the Bengals.
He'll survive. He'll be wounded. He'll be a gazelle. Trying to get out of
And
there.
our dear friend who is missing today, Tony, says on track to get wrecked and allow 115 sacks this year.
Tony has the
That's
Dolphins
crazy
winning.
because
Sorry, not the Dolphins. The Jets.
Tony took the Jets too.
Tony took the Jets.
Just for future sake, for my editing sake, can we jump into the chat after each team?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, that's 115 sacks. That's
that's what they're on pace for.
I know
right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy stat. Watch them. They'll hit the over on that. It'll be 125 sacks by the end of the year.
That'd be fucking nuts.
Next game on the docket. I will be there. We have Kansas City rolling into Indy. Kansas City's favored by 6.5, and I don't blame Kansas City being favored by 6.5. I don't know. Maybe the Chiefs might score 49.5 points by themselves, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the Colts are going to win. I think the Colts are going to lose this game, but they show that they're a competitive football team. I have the Colts covering the 6.5, but we lose to Kansas City at home. We go 0-2-1. That's what I think is going to happen. If the Colts get blown out, our season's shocked.
Steven?
I'm going to agree with Casey. The Colts offense has pretty much been non-existent except for that one quarter against the Texans.
Fourth quarter, that was it.
And even then, the Texans hand gifted them a touchdown with a fumble on the 30-yard line last week. That being said, Kansas City coming in, they are dangerous. They will put up points. The Colts won't be able to match that, I don't think. I don't think they'll cover either. I just don't think, Casey. I'm sorry. It looked like it was going to be like us this year too. I mean, it looked like we didn't have an offense, and then we beat Cincinnati. I don't know what happened. Like I said, if they show up, good for you. We'll have you a happy Casey next week for the podcast, but sad Casey will continue.
Yeah, it will. Here's the thing, though. The Colts lose to teams we're supposed to beat, and we beat the teams we're supposed to lose to. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Daniel, what is your take on this game?
Anybody can beat anybody in every... Fuck, I fucked it up.
Quick thing. Tony has the Chiefs winning too.
Anybody can beat anybody in any given week. But I don't think that the Colts will beat the Chiefs this week. Give me the Chiefs by a large margin. The Colts have not shown us that they can do anything this year, except for that fourth quarter. Like Steven said, it was not even that impressive. So I'm taking the Chiefs really big here. But who knows? I mean, Indy could finally show up and be the Indy that they're supposed to be and compete. But I'm taking the Chiefs' dominant offense to just obliterate you guys. Sorry, but
hey, No
On
offense
paper,
taken.
that's how it should be.
No offense taken. I'm gonna have hope, but Colts don't let
That's
me down.
how I was this week with the Cowboys, though. I thought the Bengals were gonna fuck us up. We ended up winning somehow.
But Colts, don't let me down. You probably will, but don't let me down.
We'll find out.
All right. To the chat, I'm not reading that. Sorry, Josh. That one's not getting read.
Asking opinions on this game is literally a waste of time. KC. That's pretty funny.
Josh.
That might be the blowout of the week. Hopefully it's not.
I don't think we're gonna get blown out. Hit my blowout of the week last week, though. Speaking of blowout of the week, blowout of the week last week was the Bills against the Titans. The next game here that we have is the Bills going into Miami, and what should have probably been the Sunday night game. So yeah. I really wanted this to be a primetime game because both these teams are gonna deal some points. The Bills are favored by 5.5. The over under on this game is 54. That is a lot of points. I think the Bills will score a lot of points on Miami. I think Miami can score a lot of points on the Bills. But I think the Bills are just too much, and I've been saying this all year. They are out for blood. I have the Bills winning. I have them covering, too. I have the Bills covering. I think they cover the 5.5. And just for fun, let's take the over 54 in points. So let's roll with it. Parlay it. Why not? Let's go. Guys, how about y'all?
Go ahead, Daniel.
This game is kind of weird because it is in Miami. Miami has a really good team. The Bills have a better team, though.
They do.
They're fucking scary, dude.
Stacked.
They're just on another level right now, and it's insane to me. Like you said, though, the Dolphins could they very well could. It's a big could stay in the game. They could pull it off. I don't think they will, though. I am not even going to question the spread. I think the Bills are going to continue their run of dominating teams.
Their reign of terror.
Yes, their reign of terror. And I am not even going to question the over on that because I think the Bills will put up at least 35. And I think the Dolphins will put up at least 25. So that puts you at 60 right there. So give me the Bills. Not like crazy big, not like they did to the Titans, but pretty big.
I don't think
two-score touchdown or two-score game for sure.
I don't think that none of us will not pick the Bills all the rest of the season. So there's that. All right.
Steven?
So
Go
the
to chat.
Bills.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, Steven. My bad. Now I got to edit that out. God damn it.
The Bills are like that picture where the Grim Reapers walking through the doors and like killing everybody. You just put every team that they're playing on there, and they're coming for them next. The Dolphins are a good team, but I don't think the defense will be able to handle the Bills' offense. The Dolphins' offense, as both of you have said, can put up points, but the Bills are just a different monster, and the Bills will win. I think the Bills will cover too. I just don't think the Dolphins can keep up with their scoring pace. I mean, the Dolphins gave up 35 points at the start of the fourth quarter to the Ravens. They had to catch up, and they did, but still. 30 for
All right.
Ravens, I don't think is as good as the Bills. So I have the Bills winning.
Steven, you're a little laggy on your end, just so you know.
Happens. Live
And then-
streams.
Yeah.
Tony has the Dolphins winning.
Tony's lone wolfing it with the Dolphins this week. I lone wolf with the Dolphins last week.
Tony, taking the Dolphins solely to create tension because I figured y'all would pick the Bills. Reasoning, the Bills just had a monster game, meaning they probably just got an extra day off because of it. Bills all the way. Allen is unstoppable by Josh. Tony, they already on a short week because they played Monday night, so they won't have as much time to prepare for the Dolphins. I said the Dolphins could steal one game from the Bills, but this one will be it because they won't have a full week to prepare. That's Tony's reasoning by picking the Dolphins. So
I could see it.
There we go. I could see it too. I mean, it could happen. All right. Shows our live streams at 7 minutes. So did our stream lag?
What do you mean?
It says 7 minutes up here.
It's been going.
Okay. Well, that's good. At least it didn't stop.
I'm
All right. Next
pretty sure
game on.
the chat would have said something.
Okay. Next game on the list, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just shit on my Colts, going into Los Angeles to play the Chargers. The Jaguars are coming off an emotional shutout victory over the Colts. I already said that. The Chargers have Chargers kind of had a mini bye to recover from a tough loss to the Chiefs after playing on Thursday night. And who knows what Justin Herbert's ribs look like right now. Remember, he got hurt in that game.
Yeah.
Herbert and Austin Eckler, though, should have their way with the Jaguars defense, while Trevor Lawrence faces a much tougher pass rush in the secondary. My goodness, my words are jumbled up today. The Chargers are favored by 7 in this game. I like the Chargers in this game. Over under is 48. I probably like the over in that as well. I like the Chargers. The Chargers are not the Colts, so Chargers.
Steven?
Yeah, the Chargers should win this game pretty easily. The Jaguars did show promise last week, but again, the Colts did not show up at all. So I have the Chargers winning. What was the spread again?
It's 7. Chargers favored by 7.
I think the Chargers will cover that still. I don't think the Chargers are a much better team. So I don't think Jacksonville will be able to handle them at all.
Daniel.
Yeah, I'm on the same page there. I think Jacksonville comes back down to earth. I think Jacksonville just has it out for the Colts at home for some reason. We said it earlier. Jacksonville hasn't lost at home to the Colts since 2014 somehow. None of us know how, but that's a real stat.
Keep piling it on. Keep piling it on.
Yeah, the Jaguars are still the Jaguars though, and they're not as good as the Colts made them look. Keep piling it on. And the Chargers are a really good team. Justin Herbert is that dude. He might not play in week 3, but I don't know. Jameis Winston played with 4 broken bones in his back this week, so I can see Justin Herbert still playing.
Like crap.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Chargers in this game. They're covering the 7. And the over-under?
48.
Ooh. I'm going to take the under on that because I don't think the Jaguars are going
under.
to score very much. I'll take the under.
I'll take the over because I think the Chargers are going to score a lot. So, but there's that game right there. All right. Moving on.
Tony also picked the Chargers.
Oh, gotcha. All right, moving on to the next game. We have the Houston Texans, a surprise Houston Texans, we can probably say, going into Chicago to play the Bears. The Bears are favored by 3 in this game, and the over-under in this game is 40.5. Believe it or not, I probably like the under in this game because both of these teams can't really score. Texans' defense is pretty good this year, from what I've seen in 2 games. They held the Broncos to 16 points and they held the Colts to 20 points, but they let the Colts score 17 in the fourth quarter. Had the Colts down to 3 points in 3 quarters. Davis Mills has taken some lumps to limit their passing game. Damian Pierce is starting to rev up in the running game. The Bears offense looks lost around Justin Fields, but I think that they get back to form here and they win. I think they beat the Texans. I think this will be a closer game, though. I think this will be a good game to watch. I like the Bears to cover the 3, though. I think the Bears cover the 3, win the game. I like the under 40.5 in this game. This game could end like 10-7.
I think that the Bears are a pretty good team this year. After the first week, when they won, I really liked how Justin Fields has been running that offense, and I think that the Bears is this their home opener?
I don't believe so.
Week 1. No,
They played week 1
San
at home, right?
Francisco.
Yeah, because it was raining like crazy. Never mind. But they played crazy good in week 1 at home against San Francisco. San Francisco is still a good team. I don't discredit San Francisco anymore. San Francisco has Jimmy G back too, but talking about the Bears. So I am taking the Bears by a pretty good margin. I'm going to say Bears by 10 because they are at home. They'll have that home field advantage, and the Texans have not impressed me thus far.
Offensively, at least.
I want to say anywhere because the Colts have just more unimpressed all of us, and that was the only game that the Texans produced in. So I'm going to take the Bears by 10.
How about the over-under, 40.5?
Give me the under on that. I'm not even going to question that.
Yeah, I'm with you on
They're
that.
not. That's not going to be a high-scoring game at all.
All right. Head back to the chat. Josh, again, AFC South sucks. Give me the Bears. Antonio, 10-7. You think it'll go 10-7? You think it'll go that high? Yeah, probably not. It might be 3-2. What a shootout! Could you imagine a
Tony
game
picked the
ending in 3-2? Or who Tony pick?
Texans.
Tony picked the Texans. All right, let's move on. Let me get this.
Steven,
game
did you
here.
give a take there?
Did I?
Do you have a take to give?
I mean,
He gave
I
his
can
take.
say it again. Did I? Oh, I have the Browns. The Bears winning. Just in case I did. The Bears should win. The Texans offensively just aren't really there. They tried trick things that kind of confuse the Colts. Week 1, week 2, they didn't show up at all. So I don't think the Texans offense will show up. Texans defense is a little better, but yeah, Bears winning.
Bears winning.
Perfect. Awesome. Anybody else in the chat? Nope. What a shootout. All right, let's go to the next game. Next game is the aforementioned San Francisco 49ers going into Broncos country to take on the Denver Broncos. The 49ers are favored by 1.5 in this game, and I think that is partly due to Jimmy G being their quarterback again.
Yeah.
The over-under is 45 in this game. I think there will be some points scored in this game. I think the ending result I think it's going to be a good game. I think the ending result could be like 24-20, 27-24, something like that. Could be like a 3-point game. 49ers favored by 1.5. I like the Niners in this game. I think they win in Denver and they cover the 1.5.
Go ahead, Steven. Let's keep the same order going so that we don't forget anyone.
We don't forget anybody. Yeah, I have the 49ers winning. I think the 49ers are coming into form now. Jimmy G just helps with that. Now that they have someone that is comfortable in that offense, I think. The Broncos are struggling scoring. I mean, they scored 16 points last week. I think they only scored 16 around. I don't remember how much they scored against the Seahawks.
Wasn't a lot.
But they haven't been able to produce offensively, and that shouldn't be an issue with Russell Wilson as their quarterback. Granted, their wide receivers haven't been helping, but I have the 49ers winning. I think the 49ers will cover as well.
By the way,
Who does Tony have in this one?
Tony has the 49ers.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the Sunday night football game, by the way.
It shouldn't be, but it is. So we're all in consensus here with the 49ers. I feel so sorry for Trey Lance because he never got to show out what he could really do. Both of the games that he played in were just pouring rain, and when it's pouring rain in the NFL, you can't really throw it. So Trey Lance didn't really get to show out. Sorry for him. He's out for the entire season. But good for the 49ers for keeping Jimmy G because now they have a quarterback, a reliable starting quarterback that can take you deep into the playoffs. I like the Niners in this game. The Broncos have not shown me shit. Give me the Niners by a good margin as well. I'm going to take a 2-score game over 14. A
Over
2-touchdown
14,
game
dang.
for sure.
So is this kind of your blowout of the week? Or do you have another game in mind
It's not
for
going to
that?
be a huge blowout, but I'm going to say like 24-10 Niners.
Yeah, you think they pull away late, or do you think they just take it away right away?
I think they just take it away right away. Denver has not impressed me at all thus far. Russell Wilson is letting Broncos country die. So
I love it. Josh, Wilson sucks. Give me the 49ers.
Okay.
short, sweet, and simple.
Which,
Fucking love that guy.
Josh, give me your top 5 quarterbacks in the league. I just want to know.
Dak Prescott.
Dak
Prescott.
Dak Prescott,
Michael
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush. Then Michael Parsons.
Who's your third string on the Ben DiNucci?
Will Grier.
Ben
No,
DiNucci.
And DiNucci. Dude, I want to take a moment. Ben DiNucci's TikTok is fucking hilarious. That guy is so funny. If you have not seen Ben DiNucci's TikTok, go look at that.
By the way,
It's
have you
great.
guys seen? Did you guys say Will Grier? It's Will Greer.
Greer,
Whatever.
whatever. It's spelled Grier.
He's the third quarterback.
Grier.
Jesus Christ! Learn your
It
players'
says Grier.
names. It's Greer. Will Greer. He played at West Virginia. Will Greer. Good quarterback. All right. Moving on. Let's go to Minnesota, where the Detroit Lions will be visiting next week. Minnesota, believe it or not, is favored by 6 in this game. The over-under is 53.5. I like, believe it or not, I like the over in this game.
Yeah.
53.5. I think both these teams are going to score. I think Minnesota wakes up their offense this week. I think Detroit is, like I've been saying, not the Lions of past. They're going to score some points in this game. I think it's a division game. It's going to be competitive, but I got to go with Minnesota because they are my NFC North champions preseason picks. So
make my outro.
Give me Minnesota. I don't think they cover the 6, though. I think that the Lions will cover that 6. I think it'll be a closer game, but Minnesota wins at home. Lions cover the 6 over 53.5.
I'm going to go next real quick, Steven, because I, unfortunately, have to go. So I'm going to give my take, and I must depart, unfortunately. But you guys in the chat are in good hands. Steven and Casey will take over. I know there's a couple of games left, but they're ready, so I got to go. Minnesota's offense will come back to life this week, and Detroit's offense will stay alive this week. Their defenses have not played too well in the first 2 weeks. I do like Minnesota at home to bounce back after losing to Philly. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I agree with you, Casey, on the over. What was the spread?
The Vikings are favored by 6.
Vikings are favored by 6. I think they cover. I'm going to give an actual score here. I'm going to say 36-30 Vikings.
36-30 Vikings?
36-30.
I do want you to do the next one, though, because it's the Eagles and the Commanders. Can you do that one real quick? You can give your take first.
Okay.
All right. Next game here, we have the...
Steven didn't give his on that one. That's why.
God damn it. Okay, go, Steven. You didn't go in order.
It's because he had to go. I'll keep it short and sweet. I have the Vikings winning. It's going to be a shootout, but I have the Vikings winning. Tony also has the Vikings.
All right. Next game on the docket, we have the Philadelphia Eagles going into Washington to play the Commanders. The Eagles are favored by 6.5. The over-under here is 47. Daniel, you hate the Eagles? I'll let you go first.
Fuck them. I'll say it all year.
You also hate the Commanders, which is why I'm letting you go first.
Yeah. Fuck the Eagles more than the Commanders. I hate the Eagles more than anything. I'm going to take the Eagles in this game, though. They are a better team. They're probably the best team in the NFC East right now, all around. They might be the best all-around team in the NFC. They're fucking scary. Jalen Hurts is figuring out how to play real football now and, like, actually run with it. No pun intended there, because he's been running a lot. But, yeah, I'm taking the Eagles. What was the spread? 6?
6.5.
6.5? I don't know if... It's hard because it's a division game. The division games in the NFC East are always close. They always are, no matter what team is what. Except last year when the Cowboys decimated the Eagles. But... Nah, I'm going to take the Eagles covering the spread away. They're just too good. They're too good for Washington, and... Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles there.
Over or under on the 47 points?
Under.
Daniel's
Under for that. I think it will be a close-ish matchup. I'd say probably the Eagles by like 7 to 10. So not too far-fetched, but yeah, I'm going to take the under. I don't think it'll be that high scoring. I think it'll be a kind of a shootout, just because it's a division game. But yeah.
Cool deal. All right, well, everybody say bye to Daniel.
With that, I bid the adieu.
If I could ask you for a favor, just leave your computer on so we can keep our screen so I don't have to reset them.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right,
I'll leave it here. You guys can look at my beautiful Tony Romo jersey.
All right. Well, we'll mourn you while you're gone.
Yeah, I'll mute my mic too. That way it's...
If you want to see the rest of Daniel's pick, follow us on TikTok.
Yep.
Yes,
if you want to see all of his picks, we're on TikTok.
TikTok.
So Daniel, see Daniel's picks.
And the blooper reel.
We're doing pretty good there.
All right. See you guys later.
Later, Daniel. All right. My take on the Eagles and Commanders. I think Wentz has firepower in Washington with the receivers I was talking about earlier, but Philadelphia has some real defensive holes as well, which can get exposed by Wentz, but he's more likely to make a mistake than Hurts is, so I like the Eagles. I think it'll be a closer game. Washington covers is a 6.5, 47 points. I'm going to take the over on that. I think both teams can score. So over 47, Washington covers, Eagles win.
Yeah, I have the Eagles winning. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to take the over for the points.
Yeah, I like the over too. So,
but the Eagles, I think, will cover still. it's gonna. I mean, both teams have good wide receivers. They have good offenses, but I just think the Eagles' defense is better. So Eagles winning, covering, and I'll take the over.
Perfect. Let's go to Josh in the chat. I'll let you read those while I set up the next couple games.
I can't read it. It's too small. Hold on. Didn't pull it up. Sorry. I
Good.
just wasn't prepared for that. Josh said he gave us his 5. It's I'm assuming he meant to say Dak. He said Pat, Allen, Brady, Stafford, Rodgers for his top 5 QBs. He's taking the Vikings because Kurt's not playing in primetime. Eagles, Carson Wentz is overrated. And then he commented on Tony Romo's jersey. He said, "That's my quarterback."
That's my quarterback. All right. So the next game here that we have is the New Orleans Saints going into Carolina to take on the Panthers. So the Saints just came off a loss to the Buccaneers here. They lost to the Buccaneers for the first time in the regular season in 4 years, I believe. That is that stat. But
minus the playoff game.
Yeah, minus their playoff game. But this game will be closer than everybody thinks it's going to be. Let me see what the spread is here. You read those quicker than I thought you were going to. I was trying to set up the next part.
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, it was just Josh talking.
Yeah. Actually, the spread in this game, the Saints are favored by 2.5. The over/under is 40.5. I don't know what to think of this game here because this is a peculiar game. I don't know if Jameis is going to play. Like Daniel said, he has broken bones in his back. Is that correct?
He had 4 fractured ribs last week.
Oh my gosh, he's playing with 4 fractured ribs.
Yeah, and he was pretty beat up in that game.
And he's grinding through with no Kamara in that game against the Buccaneers. The Saints defense still sorting some things out, but they can play Baker Mayfield and the Panthers tough with their pass rush coverage. I like the Saints in this game. I think I wouldn't call it an easy win for the Saints, but I think they're going to win by more than 2.5. I think the Saints cover the 2.5. And give me the over on the points, because I think the Panthers can score some points. If it's a 20-20 game, 23-20, you hit your over. So give me the over on the points. Saints win. Saints cover the 2.5.
I just don't know about the Panthers, though. I mean, they really haven't showed up. I mean, against week 1, but that was Baker Mayfield trying to beat his former team. So, of course, he was going to show up. But, I mean, they played the Giants last week and only scored 16 points. So that's against the Giants. I mean, the Giants may actually be a lot better this year, but the Saints took a beating last week. It was a very emotional game. I was watching that game last week. The way Jameis Winston plays will determine this game, especially without Kamara. I think the Saints will still pull it off. I think the Saints just have the better all-around team.
I think they're more well-rounded than the Panthers are right now.
The Panthers, yeah, definitely. So I'll take the Saints. I'll take them covering as well, but I'll take the under.
Under that's 40.5?
Yeah, I'll take the under because it's a division game.
Yeah, I think that's a good over/under number for this game. I think it's going to be kind of close to that. Final score could be like 20-17, 23-20, 24-17, something like that. I think that's what this game is destined for. So we'll see there. Let's go. Oh, what was Tony's pick in this game?
Tony picked the Panthers.
Tony got the Panthers. So I think probably the only one picking them. Because I think Daniel had the Saints. So let's go back to the chat here for a second.
Chat said, Josh, when he was putting his top 5, he put Pat. I thought it auto-corrected from Dak. I'm sorry, but
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. I totally forgot about that.
So Mahomes, Allen, Brady, Stafford, Rodgers.
That's not bad. I don't think Stafford is the top 5, but
I don't think Rodgers is anymore either right now. Rodgers is top 5, probably top 10 all time, but I don't think he's top 5 this year. Ow.
He's doing a lot. He did a lot better last week. Or I guess yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yeah, Tony's like, I think he must mean Patrick Mahomes, dude. Tony says Eagles win on his pick there.
Yeah, we forgot to mention. Daniel kind of threw us off.
It's okay. We had to do it quick. Mm-hmm. All right, we got a couple games here left. 1, 2, 3, 4 more games. So we can power through this, Steven. We got this. All right.
We're good.
Get our talking juices going. All right. The Atlanta Falcons are going into Seattle as 2-point underdogs. Seattle's favored by 2 in this game. The over-under is 42. Atlanta showed us that they are not a terrible football team. They almost came back from a 28-3 deficit, shocked the world, and everybody would have had to like not talk about that anymore because the Rams would have given up a 28-3 lead. But they went to the limit with the Saints and the Rams. They lost by 1 possession in both games, I believe. But they don't have a win to show for it. The Seahawks came crashing down in San Francisco after taking down Denver. Marcus Mariota returns to the Pacific Northwest and will have more success with Drake London and his visiting team. Also, he might get Kyle Pitts going. Seattle will struggle to run the ball again, and I see a frustrated DK Metcalf shut down by AJ Terrell. I like the Falcons to win this game. I have a score prediction for this game. I think it's going to be 24-20. Falcons win. And so that would Falcons are +2. Take them straight up. Falcons +105 to win. Over the 42.
42. Got it. Just to put Tony's input in, he has the Seahawks winning, and I'm going to have to agree with Tony. I think the Seahawks are a lot better team than we thought they were going to be. Geno Smith is producing pretty well. I mean, they did struggle against 49ers, but the 49ers do have a pretty good defense. Let's not sugarcoat that.
Mm-hmm. They do.
The Falcons are showing up a lot better this year, though, as you just said earlier, they almost took the defending champs
to the brink.
At home. To the brink, yeah. And that just might show you the Rams aren't as good as everyone thought they were.
That's what I'm thinking.
It could also show the Falcons are a lot better than everyone thought. I mean, we all had the Falcons barely winning, I think, 4 or 5 games this year.
Yeah.
And they're proving us, they might prove us wrong this year. But that being said, I think the Seahawks should win over the Falcons. It's in Seattle, right?
It is in Seattle, yes.
And I think that the Seattle home crowd will help with that as well.
Yeah, that crowd is no joke.
Yeah, you've been there live. So
I've been there for a preseason game, and I went to a Chiefs playoff game, and the preseason game in Seattle was louder than the Chiefs playoff game. So, sorry, Chiefs.
Arrowhead's not that quiet either.
Arrowhead's a loud stadium. I mean, it was loud when I was there, but I feel like Seattle had a louder crowd there. But anyway, that was Falcons Seahawks. Next game.
Josh said Atlanta, Seattle. It's the battle of the should-be backup quarterbacks, but he says give me Seattle.
That's actually pretty funny, Josh. Next game here, we have the LA Rams traveling to Arizona to face the Cardinals. The Cardinals did not look good in week 1. They got smashed by the Chiefs. Week 2, they came back, forced overtime against the Raiders. That 84-yard scramble by Kyler Murray with no time left to put it into overtime. And they ended up beating the Raiders. They beat them in overtime. I think the Rams this week need to prove who they are. They're favored by 3.5 in this game. The over-under is 48.5. I think the Rams wake up this week. I know it's a division game here, but I think the Rams will win. I think they'll win something like 31-20, something like that. I like the Rams in this game to bounce back from last week's kind of embarrassing end to their game. They did get the win, but it was an embarrassing end. The Cardinals played really well against the Raiders last week, but I still think the Raiders aren't as good as everybody thinks they are. I think the Cardinals will keep it close for a little while, and the Rams pull away late. I like the Rams to cover the 3.5. As far as the points, I like the over 48.5 because I think both teams can score.
Definitely. Both teams can definitely score. Tony has the Rams winning, so we'll put his input in right now. And this one was tough for me because, like we said with the Falcons game, the Rams don't seem like they're up to last year's par.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cardinals decided to show up last week. If the Rams can contain Kyler Murray in the pocket, the Rams should win this game, I think. That was the problem with the Raiders. They couldn't keep Kyler Murray in the pocket. And once he got out of the pocket, he ran all over them, especially in that end of the game. The Rams front 7 is a lot better than the Raiders front 7.
I mean the Cardinals?
No. The Rams front 7.
Gotcha. Comparing.
Yeah. So I think like I said, if the Rams can contain Kyler Murray, they can win this game.
I agree. I agree with that.
I think so. I have the Rams winning. What was the spread again?
The spread, the Rams are favored by 3.5.
I'll take the Rams with the over, and then I'll have the over because both teams can put up points. But I think
so. You have the Rams covering the spread. That's what you mean.
yes, yeah. Sorry, I have the Rams covering the spread and the over. I think both teams can score points, but the Rams should be able to contain Kyler Murray enough to where they will outscore the Cardinals.
It looks like we are in agreement here.
Yeah, that's the problem with me and you. We're very agreeing on a lot of things.
Sometimes we differ, though. There's those times where we differ pretty well. Josh says Rams are gonna stop screwing around and pull a win. I agree with you, Josh. I think they do it here. They did pull a win last week, but it was an ugly win. But a win nonetheless. I would take it. Colts don't even have one, so there's that. Next game here. A lot of people have this pinned as a game circled on their calendars, but I don't think it should be a circled game. It is the Packers going into Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is 2-point favorites here. The over-under is 42. Tampa Bay's defense is stout. That defense is good. I don't care who they played in the first 2 weeks. They are stopping everybody. They stopped the Saints. They stopped the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. They both didn't score very many points. I think that's the difference in this game, which is why I like the under 42 points here. I think the Buccaneers will stop Green Bay's would-be wide receivers. I don't think they have enough talent at wide receiver to stay competitive either. I think the Buccaneers win this convincingly. They're in Tampa Bay. I like the Buccaneers -2, under 42. If I had to give a score prediction, I'd probably say 27-17 Buccaneers. That's my final score prediction there.
Tony has the Packers winning this game. I wish he could explain that, but he might be able to in the chat. But
if he's here.
Yeah, if he's still here. But the only problem with the Buccaneers this week is they are without Mike Evans because he was suspended.
That is true.
So that's their top receiver. That's their wideout one going out for the game. So both wide receiving corps are not going to be up to par as what we've seen last 2 years. I mean, yes, it's in Tampa. I have the Bucs winning still over the Packers.
The deciding factor for me is the defense of the Buccaneers. If the Buccaneers defense didn't show out the first 2 games, I think I'd pick the Packers, but I can't because I think the Buccaneers defense is going to be able to stop them.
With the Buccaneers defense showing up against the Saints also, that just proves that the Cowboys offense probably wasn't as bad as we all thought it was that week 1. They were just that good.
Yeah.
That being said, they do have the better of the 2 defenses, but the Packers did find their running game last week. It just depends if their wide receivers can catch the ball. That's honestly what it's going to be.
Yep, that's what it's going to come down to.
If they can show up and catch the ball, I think they'll keep it close, but I think the Buccaneers will still win.
Perfect. Let's go to Josh in the chat here. He says, Tom greater than Rodgers. Rodgers has a bunch of wet noodles for receivers. I actually agree with you, Josh. They can't catch the ball. Give credit to Aaron Jones. He's been carrying garbage teams his whole career. Yep. Started at UTEP. Aaron Jones and Austin. AJ Dillon. I said Austin Dillon. AJ Dillon are going to be pretty good for them. Yep. Last game, Steven. We made it. Last game.
We made it. Monday Night Football, baby.
Monday Night Football. You have the Dallas Cowboys, your Dallas Cowboys, heading into New York to take on your rival, the Giants. The Giants are favored by 2.5, believe it or not. The over-under is 39.5. Look, I don't know if I call this an upset, but I like the Cowboys here. I think the Cowboys showed us who they are, beating the Bengals last week, even though the Bengals' offensive line is probably still atrocious. The Cowboys rallied around Cooper Rush and their defense to shock the Bengals in the first full game without Dak Prescott. The Giants also have been an early surprise with their 2-0 start. The difference will be the Dallas pass rush with Micah Parsons getting more big plays on the back end from Trayvon Diggs versus Daniel Jones and limited passing game. This is also a good chance for the Cowboys to ride Ezekiel Elliott. I think they need to rely on Zeke more because Tony Pollard is not the answer in the running game. Tony Pollard is a good pass catching running back. Tony Pollard's a good pass catching running back. I think that's where he should be utilized more. They tried to run him more, I think, last week. Zeke didn't really do a lot last week. Did he? I don't think he did.
I mean, the Bengals had a pretty good. The Bengals still have a good defense. So they. Let me look up the stats real quick.
Well, anyway, as you look that up, I'm gonna finish my stuff. Cowboys are 2.5-point dogs. I'm gonna take the Cowboys straight up. They're plus 110 to win this game. Over under is 39.5. I like the over here. That's low amount of points there. I like the over. Well, it's not super low, but it's lower than I think most games here. But I think both teams are gonna score. I think there'll be more than 40 points scored in this game. Give me the Cowboys on the money line. Plus 110, and give me the over 39.5 points.
So to recap on your Cowboys rushing, Zeke had 15 carries for 53 yards for an average of 3.5 yards. Tony Pollard had 9 carries for 43 yards for 4.8 yards a carry. That being skewed by that really long touchdown. That being skewed by that long touchdown or almost touchdown.
Can you throw that?
Yeah, right.
It's really bad. Read those stats again. His dog is chewing on a toy.
He picked the worst toy to chew right there.
Read those stats again.
Zeke had 15 carries for 53 yards, so an average of 3.5 yards. Tony Pollard had 9 carries for 43 yards, for an average of 40.8 yards and a touchdown. So it was pretty even, honestly. Tony Pollard did have that long run in the second quarter, I think.
Yeah, that was the difference between the two there.
Or first quarter, yeah. That was that. So that number's skewed a little bit because of that. But like you said, he picked up the toy again. The Cowboys, I think, are going to get much more confident on offense now with Cooper Rush.
Mm-hmm.
He's reliable. He doesn't make mistakes. He's very conservative on his throws, which is nice. And I think the running game will show up in this game. I don't think the Giants have that good of a rushing defense.
They did shut down Derrick Henry in week 1.
They did, but they struggled a little bit with Christian McCaffrey week 2. So there's that. But the Cowboys do have a 1-2 punch with running back. They have Zeke and they have Tony Pollard. That being said, the Cowboys are a better team, I think, than the Giants have faced this year. But the Giants are no joke either. They've won their 2 games pretty well. Then they've done it. They've done it on the ground with Saquon. Daniel Jones hasn't done much, but it's a division game, Monday Night Football. The Giants will show up. I have the Cowboys winning and winning straight up. The over/under was what?
The over/under was 39.5.
Oh God, that's kind of low.
That's why I took the over.
Yeah, I'll take the over. Usually division games like this are low scoring, but I don't think it's going to be that low scoring. But give me the Cowboys winning in New. Where do they play?
New York.
In New York. I know they play in New York, but I
say that again.
I have the Cowboys winning in New York. Let's just go with that.
Good old fashioned NFC East grudge match. Love it. So
Cowboys. Tony has the Giants winning.
Tony has the Giants. I think he's the only one that has the Giants. I'm sure Daniel will pick the Cowboys.
Daniel will pick the Cowboys.
I'll let you read Josh's comments.
Josh's comments. Go back to that. Let's go. #rush hour. #feed Zeke. #DC4L, which is Dallas Cowboys for life. #Cowboys Nation. How about them Cowboys? We're going to the Super Bowl.
Josh, you're not going to the Super Bowl.
That concludes Josh's rant.
Josh, you're not going to the Super Bowl.
No, the Eagles will win the division.
The Eagles are going to shit on you. Play them twice.
I think those games will be good now. I don't think the Eagles will shit on us, but those are going to be really fun games to go to.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to shit on you either, but I don't know. I just like talking shit to Josh, so there's that.
Those are going to be fun games to go to.
Yeah, and one for sure.
Is on the day after Christmas.
That's the day before Christmas. It's on Christmas Eve. Because the Colts play Monday night.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Christmas Eve.
that
That's gonna be
week.
a fun game.
Play the Chargers that
thinking-
night.
I was thinking about the World Cup. The U.S. plays England on Black Friday.
Oh yeah, that's
after
right.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good weekend too. All right, Josh, you got anything else for us? Because we're about to wrap it up here. Been streaming for about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Our usual. Not terrible. Did a pretty good job here. I like our new
Tony,
ticker
we
up here.
missed you.
We did miss you, Tony. We missed your opinions.
Josh is taking the Cowboys in case you didn't
If I wasn't clear.
know.
Yeah, we know, Josh. We know. You've been saying you're taking the Cowboys since we met you, and they haven't done shit since we met you. So there you go. Get your last
So,
words in, Josh, because
We're cutting you off.
cutting you off here in pretty soon. Anybody else jumping into the got 4 viewers right now, so maybe.
Yeah. Pretty much wrapping up here.
Yeah. You guys got anything to say? You got about a minute before I shut it down.
Shut it down. Shoot it down. Colts suck.
Oh, here goes Josh. Cold suck.
Yeah. You shouldn't have said anything.
I'll let him have his piece. Tony
Tony gave us a heart. Tony, we'll see you next week.
We
I
will
was
see you
wrong.
next week.
That is also, I totally forgot about the World Cup coming up pretty soon. That's something to talk about.
Yeah,
in
we'll
the
be
next-
we'll be able to cover that. We'll cover the World Cup. I'll definitely cover the
totally-
World Cup. Fuck yeah.
Totally forgot about the World Cup until I just thought about that.
Josh, I was robbed. You have no Jags jersey. I
You'll
told
see
you.
him and
I told you we
we'll
couldn't
get
find
him
one.
we'll get him a Jags shirt or something. We just couldn't
Yeah.
get it that fast. We just didn't think that the Jags would.
I'll pay
just-
off my debt, okay?
We'll
Consider
make him
your
wear.
debt settled.
We'll make him wear it the week that the Jags play the Colts
It's
How
in
about
like
that?
2 weeks.
next time. I think we can get a shirt or something in 2
Yeah.
weeks.
We made the playoffs last year. Did you? Did you do anything in the playoffs? No.
Nope.
We made the playoffs in 2020. Did you?
Did we?
I don't
No.
know. When's the last time you missed the playoffs?
2020.
Yeah, there you go. No.
Did we?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Don't
Is
feel
that
like
the
we
year
did.
Dak had hurt?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you guys didn't make the playoffs that year. That's the year he broke his leg.
Yeah. But other than that, I think we're pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah, we're wrapping
Cool.
it up here. So, all right. So, thank you
Oh.
everybody for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on TikTok. Our TikTok's blowing up. I got 250,000 views on a freaking video the other day, which is mind-boggling. 250,000 views. I have another one that's like 50K right now, which is insane. But our content's ramping. Our content is ramping up, not wrapping up. Our content's ramping up here. I will be in Indianapolis this weekend for the Colts Chiefs game. I'll be visiting a bunch of Colts fans, handing out stickers. Colts fans, I am giving away tickets to the Colts Jaguars game. They're my season tickets. 2 tickets, 4th level. They're great seats, right in the corner of the end zone. You can see the whole field. It's great. If you guys, I don't know, follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere. My name's Casey. This is Steven. That was Daniel. This is the Audible Sports Podcast, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Have a good week.
Peace
Go Cowboys.
out.